Hi, boys. Welcome back to another exciting week of the Fellowship of the Fleek Fantasy Football Recap Podcast. We got a big one this week. Joining with me today, last but not least, the manager for. Shit, I don't even remember the name of the team.
You don't
AMON RAW
remember it?
Dog the Booty, Jesse Cruz. What's up, dog?
Hello. What's up, man? Saving the best for last? Maybe.
maybe.
It was a good time to invite me though, because we'll talk about it in a little bit. But it was
Yeah.
a good week.
So it's been a long time coming, but eventually we had to get you on here. And as we always do, just like to start the podcast with telling everyone in the group where you're from.
Okay. I'm one of the few that are based out of Dallas, still living in Dallas. Live in a suburb here in Flower Mound. But yeah, um, happy to be here.
Nice. And
Yeah,
next thing we always go into is how do we know each other?
damn, man. Well, Michael and I have known each other for quite some time. Probably one of the older friendships in this group. Um, From my understanding, I think we've known each other since elementary school, at least to a small degree. Michael came to Dallas in fourth grade. Was actually in the same class as one of my other closest friends, Rusty, and we were in the same class in fifth grade. But I don't think we were that close at the time. It wasn't until about like sixth grade when we were taking the bus together. Um, that bus 247, which we shared with Wade as well, who's God, he's the what's his name? His team name, the Exodia
All five
team.
pieces of Exodia.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, we all rode the same bus, bus 247, going to and from middle school, sixth through eighth grade. And yeah, and since then we've been close as buds, man. We've been best friends. But um, otherwise, yeah, that's kind of where our friendship starts out is
Yeah.
sixth grade.
My I don't know what your earliest memory of me is, but I think my earliest memory was when Rusty was coming over to my house one time in fourth grade, and he came over and we just played Budokai 2, I think. That was basically all we did. And then for whatever reason, I guess he was getting picked up by either your mom or for some reason you were in the car with his mom and they were picking him up. And then I remember him being like, "Oh yeah, Jesse's in the car," and I was like, "Oh shit, like that guy goes to our school too." And then that I
I
don't
don't remember that at
know. No,
all.
but
Oh, my memory is really terrible, though.
no, my actual first memory was in fifth grade when we had to wait in the gym before school started, and I think we were. This is actually I think something that has helped grow our friendship is that our last names are alphabetically so close to each other that for a lot
Yeah.
of different random things we would end up being either right next to each other or in the same group because of our last names.
Mm.
But and
Yeah.
I don't know if this is actually connected to that too, but I remember in fifth grade in the morning we were waiting for to get released to class, and for some reason you were telling me about your Helm's Deep like collect like Lord of the Rings like things that you were
Uh,
painting, and I didn't know what the hell you were
yeah.
talking about, but you were really passionate
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. What is it? There used to be a store in Grapevine Mills called Games Workshop, where at the time when I was younger, I didn't know anything about this stuff, but you'd pass by and they had like those figurines where you'd play on a board and like people would like you construct them and then you'd paint them and you'd play like a game. I didn't realize until I got older, like in high school and college, it was like a really like niche population of like gaming slash nerds slash like live in your mom's basement type of people that used to play that stuff. But at the time, and even up to now, I'm still a very big Lord of the Rings fan. So when I saw these figurines, I thought they were really cool. But that's beyond the point. But the earliest point that I remember you being in my life, like I guess in terms of a memory, was I was already living in the same neighborhood where our parents were living to a certain point until your parents moved. But you asking me to come over to watch you play Kingdom Hearts,
Oh.
um, and you were stuck at Hades. And this is Kingdom Hearts 1. I didn't have a PS1 or PS2 at the time, at least one that could play US games, you know what I'm talking about. but um, but yeah, then I played that for you once and I beat Hades for you, and that's like my earliest memory of
Yeah.
you and I, and probably the beginnings of our gaming
Yep.
together.
Yeah.
And I think you had Battlefront. I
No, I
think
was
we
gonna
played
say you had
Battlefront together.
Battlefront. No, you didn't have a
I can't
PS2.
remember. You had it. I think you had Battlefront, or at least maybe you rented it from Blockbuster at the
Maybe.
time or something like that.
Yeah, because I do
But yeah,
remember
that was the
Battlefront.
Battlefront.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that was a popular game at the time. But
yeah.
yeah,
And a
but
lot of
yeah,
a lot of times of bringing the Xbox over and playing Halo, which is now what we're doing for the
yeah,
bachelor party. So it's like it never stopped.
yeah. Those are good times, and that's a different story. But I'll save that for later. I don't have to divulge all the stories because
Yeah.
in case I have to make a speech one day, I want to save some stuff. So
Fair enough, fair enough. So,
yeah.
the other thing I like to talk about is just who else in the league do you know, and how long have you known them? Any stories you want to call
Uh,
out?
Let me run through these people. So I know. So Tyler, I've met Tyler a few times. I feel at least because I know he was one of your closer friends during undergrad. I know he was a fry cook like you. You were
Yep.
like
Yes,
Squidward and
sir.
SpongeBob at In and Out. And Tyler's a cool guy. I don't. We never like formally talked too much or hung out that much at the time, but he's been my boy in this league because he's always open to trades. I know I met Chase once. It was when you first moved to Houston and you were roommates with him. And I think his mom was there or something like that too at the time. That's all
I
I can
don't
remember. Like,
remember.
I think his parents were visiting too.
Probably
So
maybe
like it
yeah.
was like him. As I met like him and his parents were also around. I might be making that up. Um, I haven't traded with him because we're both in the dumps right now, and how he got him to trade with me. Prem, same with him. I've never traded with him either. I've tried to, but we're all three of us are in the dump, so no trades with us. But I've known Prem forever. It's really weird seeing Prem in the past couple of vlogs ago. Him with like a beard and long hair. It's really weird because I haven't seen him since he was like in barely in elementary school. I think at the time he was super young.
Yep.
He was like and he was like, yeah, him and Oshin. I don't even know what Oshin looks like now, but I'm sure I'll get real thrown off when I see her at your wedding.
Yeah.
Because they were like babies.
You about to hit
Shin,
that I knew you when you were a baby type shit.
no, I mean serious. Yeah, it's really crazy because I think the facial hair really threw me off.
Yeah.
It was just like, man, he's a lot older now. Shin, I've known Shin since middle school as well. We all three of us plus Wade were in band together. Um, didn't get close to Shin until later though. Probably honestly, I didn't really, wasn't even that close to Shin in high school either. Even though we were in band together up until we graduated, but it was mostly after when we were at different schools when we got closer, and now we're pretty close now. Uh, Wade, Wade's one of those old friends as well. Like I said, we were all riding the bus together. Wade was such a douchebag in the beginning, and I think he knows this. He was just a very mean friend that became
Uh,
we became very close with Wade too. But he was such a dick the first like grade or two. um, let's see. And then I've never met Mason, but we've played with Mason in League of Legends quite a few times, and he was my first trade. So shout out to him in this league at least. Nathan, never met Nathan, even though that's one of my boys, but never met Nathan. We've played League with him a lot, and we've played a lot of indie games. I feel like Power World with him. Um,
some
but yeah,
PUBG.
never met Nathan. And PUBG, yeah, I guess so. But cool guy. And then Joji, also a very cool guy. I've met with Joji a few times. Um, Usually, if I'm, I mean, when was the last time I've seen that guy? Had to have been one of your events, but he's like one of your oldest childhood friends. So, yeah, he's just a really good guy. And that's everyone, I think. Did I miss anyone? Yeah, that's everyone.
Nice.
Yeah.
So just let everyone know kind of whatever you want to share, what's going on in your life, what's new, maybe just some stuff maybe they don't even know anything about you.
Okay. Uh, Most people know most. I'm a pretty open book, but um, I'm married. Been married to my wife Carolyn for 3 years, 3.5 years now. We have a son. His name's Kai. He's a year and a half years old, and he's doing great. He's sleeping in the room right next to me, which is our formerly our guest room, but temporarily his nursery because we don't want to go upstairs every time we want to care for him. So, um, similar to what Nathan said in the previous vlog, I can't be too animated, and you know how I am. I can get very loud and excited, but I kind of have to keep my composure a little bit because I don't want to wake him up. And I got him on the iPad right here, so to monitor whether I'm being too loud, just in case I get carried away. But yeah, what is it? I'm a pharmacist by training. I work as a medical science liaison for a pharma company, and yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell. Yeah, me in a nutshell.
Nice. Um,
Yeah.
so next thing is just sports in general, maybe football, outside of football. What are the teams you follow? What is football to you?
Yeah, I thought about this because I knew this question was going to come up. So I was kind of thinking, I was like, I'm pretty sure my love for sports started in middle school at some point in time. I had to figure out exactly when I started liking football. I know I like basketball. So I guess in terms for how I see sports, S plus tiers basketball, NBA particularly. I love professional basketball. Dallas Mavericks are my team. Been following them ever since. Um, like the Devin Harris, Nowitzki, Jason Terry, Josh Howard, Marquise Daniel, Stackhouse, Jason Terry, if I didn't say his name already, type of days. And then I followed football a little shortly after that. I want to say it's partly because of you. I'm pretty sure you probably helped get me into it. We both joined football in eighth grade together. And I'm pretty sure that's probably the year I started kind of following professional football because before then I never really paid attention. And I believe that was the year that Romo botched the
Yeah,
field goal,
that was our
game winning
first
field goal
year.
against the Seahawks.
Yeah, that was our
Yeah,
first
so
year.
that's the very first core memory I have of the Cowboys, and unknowingly that kind of predicted and foreshadowed the tumultuous roller coaster ride that we are going through as Cowboy fans. But yeah, but I just remember like the team like players that stick out in my mind were like Julius Jones, T.O., Creighton. I think Miles
I was
Austin
honestly not
at
even gonna
some
say
point
that.
early on is one of my favorites back then. He was my first Cowboys jersey, number 19. And then, we had like guys like DeMarcus Ware, Brady James, Ratliff, Marcus Spears, Canty. Like, I feel like we had such a great team, but never enough to get over the hump. And that's the problem about being a Cowboy fans, right? You're always like, we always have a nice team on paper. They do well in the season. Then maybe a year later, they go like 8-8 or 7-9 or just barely above 500, and then you never get a good draft pick to kind of like set yourself up for the next rebuild. We're always just kind of like good enough. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's what I mean. I love tennis. I love watch. I was my dad was kind of grooming me to become like a semi-pro at some point, essentially. And I got into collegiate basketball and football. When I got into college, I really didn't care until I got into UT, and I started really following the Longhorns. So that's me in sports. And yeah,
Yeah,
just like I said, S plus tier is basketball. I would say like A plus tier is like everything else, like football, tennis, and then college sports as well. So they're
yeah.
all kind of on the same playing field for me.
So it's
Yeah.
it's kind of maybe you know Cowboys and Mavericks are very different franchises when you look at them in their respective divisions, and the Mavericks have had a lot more success than the Cowboys have had in our lifetime for sure. So, how does it feel to have a good team, go to the finals, lose compared to just what the Cowboys have done? Like, how does that feel?
Well, the thing about the Mavericks is, and I know you don't follow them as closely as I do, but I'm like a diehard fan. But we've had our years where like we were shit too, right? So the thing is like, um, and this can be a whole other podcast, honestly, or another episode talking about this. But I think the thing I hate the most about being a Cowboys fan is that they can do it. Like it's there. Like it's really there for the taking. And this is like very descriptive of like, or like really, it resembles a lot what I feel about my team in this league, particularly. They don't perform what they're supposed to perform, how they're supposed to perform. Like they're there. Injuries, to my understanding, I never really feel like injuries plague us in a way that prevents us from winning. Like I feel like usually at the times when we're in the playoffs, everyone's like pretty. I mean, that one year with Tony Pollard was hurt, I believe, against the Niners.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
maybe.
he messed up his
But
foot.
otherwise, like, yeah, but otherwise, like everyone's like 100%. Maybe we have strings of bad luck playing the Packers, who always have our number every year, whether it's freaking long field goal, game-winning field goal, or like a Hail Mary pass that gets them close enough. I don't know. It's just like really annoying being a Cowboys fan in that respect. But the Mavericks, it's like when we're bad, we're bad. Like, we don't have a good team. Like these 15-man roster is not going to make it far. We already know who's the big players in this league at the point in time. But when they're on, and they play well. And I think they're more fun to watch just because like I think with basketball, like without the helmet, you kind of get more. I think the stardom and like the player, you get more connected to them in a way. As opposed to football, you're like the quarterback, the star wide receiver, the star running back, maybe, and then maybe the best player on the defensive end, right? So, yeah, this is how I feel about basketball. And plus, I like playing basketball more, so maybe that's why.
Yeah.
I yeah, but both teams are fun to watch. Cowboys just make me a lot more upset, and they're making me more upset this year than ever. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that the only kind of things I would add on, I mean, you broke down what being a Cowboys fan is like pretty much perfectly, but yeah, I think the years that I've felt like, we really had a decent shot were, 2014. I feel like that team was really good, which was the Des Caudet
yeah,
year, and then
that,
2016 was a weird one because, you and I, you were sold Ezekiel Elliott to me as a dream because at that point in
yeah,
time, I also didn't really care about college sports until I was at UT, which was a couple years after you. And so and even now, like I don't pay attention to any college sport or college football outside of like Texas and the teams that we're playing. So I didn't know really who Ezekiel Elliott was going into the draft, but you were hyping it up like, he was going to be like maybe the next Emmett Smith or Barry Sanders. That's how at least how I felt. And I still remember when we were at our apartment sitting on the
yeah, me
futon
too.
watching the draft live, and it
Yeah, because
was it was
it was
between
either him
him and
or
the cornerback.
the
Was it
corner.
Jalen? Was it
Yeah,
Ramsey?
it was. It's Ramsey. Yeah, in Miami. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Jalen Ramsey. And
yeah.
I remember kind of being like 50-50 at the time. Like I don't remember now going back like what our secondary was like, but we
No,
picked
that was the right move was to get Ramsey,
Ramsey. Yeah.
but the Jerry Jones move was to get
Yeah. Zeke.
Zeke, which ended up working. Yeah,
Yeah, and so Zeke, we drafted Zeke, and the very next year was my first year out of college, and that was probably the most exciting single season of all time. Just because, but it started off crazy
right.
because Romo got hurt in the last preseason game, and then we were like, oh
Mm.
shit, we're screwed. And then Dak came in and played great. I was physically at the playoff game, home game against the Packers that we lost, which was very depressing, but yeah, that was a great season.
Yeah,
One of the other things you said, I also wanted to go back to is us becoming Cowboys fans kind of around the same time. For me, I remember, but really, because my dad we'd always watch a Super Bowl, and I remember as a kid that being so boring, and that's what I think is the hardest part about football of getting like casual sports fans or people who don't like sports to watch it is that there's so much time where nothing's happening, and even when something's happening, like if you don't really understand any of the strategy, it's just boring. And
yeah.
I feel like that's how I felt about football. But then our friend from school, his name is Blake, he got me into Madden. And I remember
Mm.
Madden, I think it was the 7, because I think it was the one that had Michael Vick on it. That was the first Madden I ever played. And immediately I fell in love with Madden, and I was like, this is so much fun. Like I was very quickly seeing the strategy between running, passing, and different defenses. Like I had no idea what defense were back then. I still only know like a little bit, but I could kind of see it coming together. And then our bus from where we lived to middle school literally passed right by the Dallas Cowboys facility in
Yeah,
Valley Ranch. So we would see,
yep,
I would literally see the star every day. Like I can't think of another way to just like imprint on you as a child as like passing by, the like Dallas Cowboys headquarters, and you've always heard like, this is like America's team. This is like, one of the best franchises ever at that time. 5 Super Bowls,
yeah,
whatever, whatever. And then we
yeah,
were going to middle school, and then we started playing football literally 2 miles away. And so it's just kind of, started then. And unfortunately, I don't think we can ever stop. So we're
yeah.
kind of just stuck
We're
with
hooked
it.
now. We're
Yeah.
stuck. Well, I mean, it's a great team to cheer for. I can't lie. It's a lot of great history, and
Yeah.
we're always on primetime games, and it's fun to be a Cowboys fan in some aspects, but
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's like it's polar opposites sometimes too. So it's
I just,
like right now
yeah.
we're in deep shit.
The only thing I would do is if I could make it to where the Cowboys weren't a national market team, I would do that in a heartbeat because I feel like the way that the Mavericks just like have no haters other than like Rockets and Spurs fans, which makes perfect sense because they're in-state rivalry and within the division, like that logically makes sense. But like following the Cowboys, it's like everyone in the whole NFL hates you, and it's like, bro, I didn't do anything to you, so
But the thing is, what's really good is, which we haven't been able to bear the fruit from, is if we have success, then we can rub it into everyone's faces too. The
Yeah.
problem is we just haven't had that. But maybe in our lifetime it'll happen. But
Yeah.
as of right now, it's not looking good.
Yep. Yeah. So before we get into the league, obviously I created this league as a way to build some camaraderie before the bachelor party, which is now only a couple weeks away. So I like to just,
Yeah.
this is my first time being commissioner. I've done fantasy football for probably 5 or 6 years now, but what are you've done fantasy as well for quite a bit, and I just kind of wanted you to share your thoughts on this league. How do you feel about it in
Yeah.
general? How does it stack up against some other leagues that you've been in?
Yeah. So, uh, yeah, I've been in other leagues with some other friends for a couple of years. And I've been with the coworkers at my previous job. We had a league going on for several years, but I only joined Michael and I. We've only done a league together once. It was a throwaway league. I think it was four of us just doing it for shits and
Yep.
giggles. But that was so stupid looking back, but it was fun in a way. But then Michael invited me to a league last year, which was like a group of like Maryland people, which is where he's originally from. Some people that he didn't know, but it was like you said in a previous podcast, it's a group of friends that invited other friends. So then we're all together. That was kind of fun. But like you said, like it's weird when you don't really know people. It's not weird. It's not as fun when you don't really know other people. And plus, some people in that league, they don't look at their DMs. So like, it would make me really mad when I was like, I have a really juicy trade, but then they won't look at it for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, and it's already at that point it's too late. So then I was happy that you made this league because one, I know most of these people. Like I mentioned, I know at least 75% of these people. I know everyone by face and name. I haven't met a few of them in person yet, but we're going to in a few weeks. But I think it's been really good. You've ran it well. I did not. I'll talk about this later, probably, but I did not draft appropriately for Superflex, and yeah, it's been fun. It's my first Superflex league, so it's been interesting to say the least. But it's probably the worst I've ever done in fantasy.
Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, cool, man. Well, I think we'll go ahead
I'm
and
enjoying
get
it though.
yeah, I'll go ahead and get into the league now. So switching over, so now we can see the slides. You can see it as well, right, on Discord?
Yeah, it says like miscellaneous
Yeah.
league updates right now.
Yep. Cool. All right. So yeah, not much this week. I kind of like to include whatever I can, but Wade posted this GIF, and
Yeah,
he also changed his picture on his team from Exodia to Mario. And this
yeah.
threw me for a loop because he said the clean my pipes, and I was like, "What in the world are you talking about?" And I was with Nathan in his office just bullshitting, and then I brought it up to him, and Nathan said like, "Oh, that's because he's toilet," and then I was like, "Oh, that's what he was
Uh,
saying." He's like, he's plumbing the toilet. I did not get that at first at all.
I I didn't get it either, honestly. But
I didn't.
I do miss the Kaiba picture though, them getting like sent to the shadow
Oh
realm.
yeah, yeah. That's
But
a
yeah, that was his
popular.
previous picture, right?
I think it was Exodia. Then I think he switched it to that. I actually didn't notice until you said it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Because
that
now
that
his name doesn't match, but I'm sure he'll switch it again.
yeah. So that's pretty much it. So next we're gonna go ahead and go into my game. So I was playing Joji, and honestly, this week was just really busy with work, and I was not paying attention as much as I usually do to the game. I mean, I made sure my lineup was set beforehand, but I didn't watch as much football as I have been recently, and I also just wasn't even paying attention to what he was scoring. Um, but I didn't really have that much I was choosing. Like I picked up Jameis the week before. I wasn't gonna start him over Burrow or Lamar. Bucky Irving, I think, was the one I was really iffy on between him and Xavier Worthy. And then Dowdle, I also had no plans on starting. Um, Tillman was another recent pickup, but I don't know. When I pick someone up, I feel like most of the time when I start them the first week, they don't pan out. So a lot of times I like to keep them on
Mm,
my bench. But yeah, so this actually kind of annoyed me because the last two players that I had left were Komet and Worthy. At that point, I'd already won the game. I was at 132, and then
mm.
Joji was already only at like 94, and all his players were played. So I already knew I was done. I'd already beat him, but I was like, oh, I might get like a lot more points because I still have two whole other people to play, And then all of a sudden, I checked when all the games were done, and I was like 0 and -1. Are you freaking serious? As Shannon Sharp would say, I had more rushing yards than Xavier Worthy did, and I was on my
Yeah,
couch.
yeah. I mean, just be glad it wasn't. It didn't play a part in you losing anything. You were
Yeah,
winning by a lot. So
yeah,
that's just it's good timing for someone to give you negative points.
yeah.
Because I'd be pissed if that was the reason why I lost.
I thought Xavier Worthy was my like big brain move of the draft because the very first week he went off for 20 points, and then he kind of went
Yeah,
down, and then he exploded again for 20 points. But those are the only two good weeks he's had. So honestly, I wouldn't say he's a bust. I mean, I think he's a good draft for the Kansas City. But I just don't think he was like that diamond in the rough that I thought he was.
I
Honestly,
think if
yeah.
you're
Oh wait, I'm not hearing your audio.
can you
Oh
hear me
yeah,
now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Uh, I think if you're doing like dynasty leagues or something, like he'd be a good person to pick up. But like otherwise, like personally, I probably wouldn't start him anymore.
Yeah.
Now that Hopkins is there, and then Kelsey's starting to heat up now,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think gosh, what's his name? Isaiah Pacheco's coming back soon. So like
He's gonna spread the
I think he's gonna
ball.
be like a four. He's gonna be like a fourth or fifth option at that point. Probably like a jet sweep type of man. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some trick plays and stuff. But
Yep.
yeah. I was targeting him in the draft too, but I ended up landing Richie Rice instead. So and I'll talk about that later. But yeah. But yeah, good. I'm surprised Daddle got that many points because when I was watching the game, it didn't feel like it. So
Dude, his yards per carry, I was texting you and Wade, his yards per carry were over 5. Like, the fact that Dowdle
yeah,
just
but I think
doesn't. Yeah,
I saw. I was just say I think just the game in general was so
so bad.
like
Yeah.
bad. I couldn't even like see all the any good parts about it. But yeah, go. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's just like I've been freaking screaming at the top of my lungs that Dowdle needs to be just the definitive RB1. Stop doing this running back by committee bullshit. And not to mention, I don't remember the last time I saw Deuce Vaughn carry the ball. Like, we just wasted that draft pick on
Mhm.
him last year. He's just like I don't even want to get into that, but yeah. Um, so I don't know. I'll keep Dowdle, but now
Daddle
that
to
Dak's
me,
injured,
he just doesn't have
yeah,
Daddle just doesn't have that like star power in my opinion. Like I look at him
yeah,
as like a running back too. Like he's just kind of like a backup to me, even though he
yeah,
probably is decent. But I think we're just always so used to having like a guy that you like when you talk about a team, you think like three players at the top of your head, right?
hmm
And Daddle's just not one of them.
for sure.
That's just
Yeah,
not a name that you think about.
yeah. I don't think Dowdle's great. I just think that he's the best that we have, and it's not a like hard decision. Like, Zeke is just
Yeah,
shouldn't even be in the league anymore. Dalvin Cook shouldn't be in
sadly.
the league, and
Yeah.
Deuce Vaughn, like, I don't know. I feel like he could be a good gadget guy, but like he's not meant to carry the ball. Like, maybe he's good at like catching it and then being elusive afterward.
Brother, if this was like 2013, 14, 15, whatever it was, bro, if we had this running back room with Zeke and Dalvin Cook would be unstoppable. We're just like 10 years too late.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, that's going all in. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears
yeah.
to yours.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
got your
Let's look at
stats up.
this. Looking forward to this.
Yeah,
All
this
right,
is your
man.
time to talk your shit.
All right, well, Spin, the chosen one. Is this planned?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So Shin, this is funny. Then you got your ass kicked, man. And I'm glad because I think
Boys.
so I think Shin's mentioned it or someone's mentioned it, but Shin's actually going against the three bottom people, which is me, Prame, and Chase, maybe in that order, to end this what would be week 11, which is where we're going to stop to figure out who's going to end up doing the punishment for this league, kind of like a mid-season punishment, which I hate, but I understand why we're doing it. But I'm glad that as part one of this gauntlet of teams that Shin has to go through, I was able to do my part and separate myself from the other two, even though it's been a nice ride riding the bottom of the bench with those three. Um, with those other two teams, Prem and Chase. But I'm glad that I'm a little safer from getting the punishment. Finn, Didn't try his hardest. Let me see real quick. I was watching the Minnesota and Indianapolis game, and I was like really scared that Taylor was just going to do something crazy and get like 30 points or whatever. Thankfully, did nothing. Um, I've been holding on to Derek Carr for quite some time. I think I just dropped him, if I'm not mistaken.
You did.
I did the double tight end, which I was kind of scared to do, but it ended up working, even though Njoku didn't do as much as I wished he could have done, which I know he should be able to do. But really, who surprised me was Hopkins, man. Hopkins had two touchdowns. One of them, I think, was later in the game, which helped get him over that 20 number. Vikings have been carrying me all year, and Kamara has been a beast whenever Carr's healthy. So, and then Olave got hurt because of the hospital ball, unfortunately. But Kamara got more.
Oh wait, we lost your audio.
Yeah,
Yeah, for some reason,
Yeah, I see
my
you.
thing keeps like switching for some reason. But I think the main takeaway that I have is my team finally performed what they should. And that's like the theme I want to get around. I keep telling Shit and Michael, my team just hasn't been performing. And they finally did what they're supposed to do. Like, this is what you expect. Like, I'm not expecting crazy numbers from Njoku, so five's fine. Sometimes they'll give you like 15, 20. Bo Nix and Derek Carr, I'm not expecting 20. I'm expecting like 15 or so, which they gave me. The Vikings are the best defense right now in the league, and I'm happy they gave me double digits, which is not it's not an anomaly. They've been doing that for a lot of their games. Um, yeah, and my position, like my key position players, like my running backs and my receivers, they just did what they're supposed to do. Shins kind of did too, except for like, because let's be real, James Cook, not so much, not so high on him. Jonathan Taylor hasn't really been the same since that first year. Jalen Hurts, stat pad, what is it? What is it called? The push. Tank Dell, I mean, with Nico Collins and Diggs out, understandable. McConkey is the best wide receiver there, but he just happened to get not the touchdowns that were stolen from him by Quentin Johnson. Um, yeah, and Chuba Hubbard, he's been going off. I think everyone's been waiting for Texas boy to come back, but it's taking quite some time. And and a bit of Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray actually, Kyler Murray hold a lot. I don't think my team
Wait.
performed
Pause for a second,
well.
Shim. This dude Jesse was barely even faced when you joined the call. He lost a beat for like a second and then said, "What's this plan?" And then and then he immediately just goes into it. I thought you were gonna be more shook.
Where's my introduction, dog? I thought Jesse was like, "Oh, is this plan? Okay, let me go ahead and start."
Yeah, I didn't even care.
I know, no, I understand, but I do understand. Jesse wanted to rant a lot because he's finally 3-6. He's been ranting every time he lost. He wanted to get that message across, especially in this podcast, just to let them know, like, this is how my team was supposed to perform.
Oh, do you want me to get into that? All right, I can do it. I can do it right now.
Yeah, let's
I
hear
want to
it.
let y'all know, everyone in this league, I shouldn't be 3-6. I should be 6-3 at least. All right.
There we go.
I think I've been telling Shin and Michael when we play games every night, especially every Monday or Tuesday night when we reconvene after the games have been settled. My team has been shitting the bed. They're not performing. They're underperforming. And I felt like I drafted a good team, but I ended up trading half of them. But in order to, like whenever someone underperforms, cut. I'm not waiting because we have this mid-season punishment. I don't have time to wait for playoffs to figure out who I can like rest my laurels on or like hope that they're going to do better at the end of the season. There's no time for that. I got to make my team better now. I did. So my one mistake is I didn't draft a quarterback early enough. I was trying to snag Jaden Daniels with my first quarterback pick, which was going to be like later. I was expecting, but ended up getting grabbed right before I was about to grab him. Literally, the pick right before was Tyler. Took him from me. But shout out to him for thinking on the same page as me. They're just doing it one pick right before me. And then I drafted Rasheed Rice, who's supposed to be the steal of the draft, in my opinion, because no one really knew who's going to be the alpha in Kansas City, and he got hurt. And I don't know what the stats are, but like I think like if I pull him up, I'm pretty sure he was like a top 5 wide receiver in those first 3 weeks. He was going crazy. Amon Ross St. Brown is on a team that is like just toying with people. They're not even taking teams seriously. They threw to O-line like twice against the Cowboys in like a game where they scored like 40 something in real life points. He had 2 receptions for 7 yards. That's how little they need this guy, even though he's a beast. All right. I don't even remember. I wish I had all my people
Marvin
that I've
Harrison.
traded. Marvin Harrison was supposed to be my steal of the draft as well, but Kyler Murray can't see over his O-line. And plus Call of Duty came out, but he's not my problem anymore. That's why I traded him. And just Kamara was going crazy. I traded for him, and then Derek Carr got hurt, and the Saints were ass for like 4 or 5 weeks straight. And I'm pretty sure there's more. I just can't
Jesse,
remember.
I know there's.
Everyone's just letting
I'm
me
pretty sure
down.
there's more. Jesse, could you comment on your waiver pick that you made regarding the quarterback, especially Massage Watson? You did. I just want to say that's on you. Although I do agree that your team didn't perform as you predicted, but Massage Watson right there, that's your accountability.
No, but that was
right there.
that was my only option after not getting. Like I said, the people that are doing well in this league are people that drafted quarterbacks early. And in a normal league, I normally never draft a quarterback in the first like 3 or 4 rounds.
I mean, this is a super flex, and that was a reason. There's a reason.
Yeah, that's why. Like Jody said in his podcast, like it's just we didn't come into this with the right mindset. We were like so used to our old ways, but the smart move was to grab a quarterback early. And I did not. So I tried. My goal was to draft Jaden Daniels and Aaron Rodgers because I was really high on the Jets coming into the season. But literally, I think both of them got snagged right before me. I don't know if I think Tyler might have both of them. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's kind of how my league went. Or my team just hasn't been performing well. So I've sold half my team. I'm sure we're going to talk about it later in this podcast. But yeah.
I was able to get it up here, but I actually have your draft. Would you like me to put it up on the screen?
Yeah, show it.
Before I bring it up, actually, what you may not have remembered or realized is you actually did draft a quarterback first. Do you remember who it was?
Anthony, he
oh my god!
Oh shit! Why did you say it?
Oh, sorry.
That's right. I did draft Anthony Richardson. So like the thing is, after
I have your draft up here. Ignore me circle. This is from I was sending it to one of my
That's fine. I mean, like I was really high on Anthony Richardson for the purposes that he runs the ball, and in the first couple of games that he played last year before he got hurt for the rest of the season, he was looking very promising. It's just not the case this year, man. He just was not the same. Or maybe this is like the true Anthony Richardson. He's just not. He's too raw, I guess. Like he didn't play that much in college either. But he has like all the tangibles about him, but he just doesn't have like I don't know if it's like the football IQ or whatever.
Jesse, he's tired. He's tired. That's why. He's too tired.
Yeah, I forgot about it, man. No.
Jesse's draft pick is kind of crazy. If you look at it, like he only has one player as of right now.
Oh, and ETN. Oh my god,
yeah,
there you go. ETN's another guy.
ETN, dude.
He was like a top 3 running back last year, and look, he's just not existent anymore. Like that was supposed to be my RB1, and he just like,
Bro,
I have ETN right now, so I'm pretty much like if he doesn't do anything this week, I'm about to drop his ass. I'm going to drop his ass.
Do you have just 3 players, Jesse? Is that it? You have only 3 that I think I'm seeing.
He has I
only have Amon St. Brown. Everyone else is gone.
That's it.
No, you have don't you have Ingram still?
I have Ingram.
Shin has Ingram.
And I have Bill.
Oh.
And I have the Conky, so pretty much I have like 4 of Jesse's players.
And you've been going down. So the more players of Jesse that you take, the more your record has gone
has that bad juju, man. He has this curse in this league right now. I'm not saying like Jesse didn't pick the right players, but something's wrong with this league. Like he's cursed. He's definitely cursed. So I'm about to drop all these players right now, dude.
I don't want to take too much time on this slide real quick, but I talked about Anthony Richardson. Amon Ra I talked about him already. ETN talked about him. Marvin Harrison talked about him. Kenneth Walker was probably my best pick of the draft in a way that
traded him too early.
You traded him.
No, but it worked out in a way, but maybe it wasn't the right trade. But he was my best pick that actually was performing well. Like he was like the only one really. And Ingram, he was hurt for so long, I couldn't hold on to him forever. T. Higgins is on a contract year, and I thought that he wouldn't be as hurt. I thought he was going to play his ass off because he wants to get a better contract or get traded somewhere where he could be like on another team, be like with the best wide receiver there. He's still out. Like he played a couple games, did really well, and he's still out again for like several weeks straight. I don't have him anymore. But I didn't know my other league. Tank Dell, after last year, I thought he was going to be that guy. I was low on Stephon Diggs. I didn't think Stephon Diggs could be anything but like a like a third guy, third
Distraction.
option. Like it's like pretty much like people would double team him, or someone would watch him on the free safety would be like shadowing him. But yeah, Tank hasn't really been done doing much. Now he is. Now that people are injured, Rashid Rice is my guy. That was my steal of the draft, but he got hurt unfortunately. McConkey was going to be like my second steal of the draft, and he's performing decent, I would say. But it's just an offense that just doesn't like to pass it that much. I think Herbert's been hurt, but he's doing better now. It's like mostly a run first offense. Brian Robinson, Jerome Ford, those are also kind of low steals too because they got them so late. And Brian Robinson's actually really good right now. He gives you like a solid like 10 to 15 points every week. But I traded him really early. Jerome Ford's pretty much non-existent now that Chubb's back. And then Deshaun Watson, I don't want to talk about him, man. Fuck that guy.
Sauce Watson.
I was trying to get someone like, I was trying to get Geno Smith. I forgot. I was trying to get someone, and it got picked right before me. Like Jaden Daniels right before mine.
I think Nathan took Rogers from you on this way. Or no, which way was it going? I
Yes,
guess the arrow's
no,
following.
I was trying to get either of those. Either of those three were like awesome picks for me. I
Yeah.
wanted Aaron Rodgers first because I was really high on the Jets. Got taken. Then I went to Mayfield. I was going to pick him. Got taken. Then Geno got taken.
Oh,
So I was stuck with like
wow.
Deshaun Watson. Yeah,
Dude,
I
Mayfield
mean, the
is
thing is,
Mayfield is
you
a top
had
5 quarterback, and he was.
the thing is Jesse had a chance. If you look at the draft pick here, Jesse had a chance to draft Mayfield or Geno, but he chose to get the Seahawks defense. So he had no choice but to choose Massage Watson there.
The Seahawks had like a good starting matchups to begin the year, so I wanted them, and I was like so sure that surely people are going to get 3 quarterbacks, and look at Chase and Tyler grabbing 3 quarterbacks, and it happens to be right before my pick. So it was just bad luck, honestly. Then I was stuck with Deshaun Watson, which no comment.
I would say like as far as like the defense that we pick, like there's so many. I mean, besides the Vikings, like everyone is switching off defense. Like,
yeah, and that's part of the reason why I want to implement new defensive scoring next year. But I don't want to get into the details. I don't want to get into details of that.
Yeah, as far as like defense goes, I think that it's kind of pointless. And like besides like one or two teams, like because we're switching them off I'm switching them off every single time, and it's paying off. So
yeah,
so like
yep.
I should have just waited on my draft, but yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next one here. So I got my next game. I'm playing Chase. I had talked about this, I think, earlier too, but actually, no, you would talk about Shin playing all the people on the bottom, but I actually played you, I think, 2 weeks ago or last week, I think, and I told Prame I beat you, and I didn't. And now I'm playing the other person that's down there with Prame, and if I have to beat Chase. If I don't beat Chase, it's like low-key going to be some of my culpability that Prame might have to dance. So I got to pull out all the stops, and Chase has had so much bad luck, and his max PF has been so high that this is probably going to be the week that he figures it out, and then freaking destroys me. So we'll see. But I don't really have. I think the only thing I'm deciding between now is whether I put Bucky Irving in over Xavier Worthy, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do because Xavier is going against the Denver defense, which has been really solid this year, but I don't know. Mahomes might be going ham now because they have Hopkins and maybe Xavier randomly gets one big play. So I don't know. It's pretty much a 50-50 shot between if I put Bucky Irving in or Xavier Worthy, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, you definitely have to clutch this up, Michael, because I'm going against Preem.
Yeah.
He hasn't really updated his team
yet, he hasn't done anything
I'm pretty sure McCaffrey is coming back, so he might put him over Tank Bigsby.
He needs to.
And George Pickens, I'm pretty sure he has to put him in because Tyler Lockett is a bye week here. So he has a good chance, I think, depending on how they perform.
He does.
If you clutch this up, Chase will be in trouble.
Yeah.
Next week.
I think Chase has honestly, I don't know if I've mentioned this already, but I think Chase's team's the nicest team in the league. He just doesn't have the right luck in terms of like who to start and we've seen and
stacked. Yeah,
you've discussed that before in other podcasts. But even his running backs, man, like they're not flashy names, but Tony Pollard and Dobbins are like solid. Like they'll give you like 15, And then Pacheco's been out, mind you. Imagine if Pacheco's in there, dear God, bro. Like if you put like those 3 in, and then he has Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and then he has Hawkinson who's back. Bro, it's wraps, man. Yeah, he is the best team in the league, in my opinion.
What would be really funny is if he's
top to bottom.
if he loses the punishment but then ends up winning the whole league, that would be really funny.
It could happen.
It
It could
could.
happen, man. The person that was last in the league that I commissioned, he ended up being the winner at the end at my end once.
Yeah.
And he was last for the longest time.
All right, so
Oh.
I got your next week up here playing Tyler.
Oh, this is before the waivers, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Jesse
Man,
Tyler is gonna
made a
be
lot
yeah.
of Jesse did make a lot of moves today. I saw
Here,
him
let me.
swapping
How
out
different
everybody.
is it actually?
I can talk about I can just say it.
Okay.
So I dropped Carr.
Maybe I'll just bring up Sleeper.
Okay.
Let me just bring up Sleeper real quick.
Well, I'm trying to pull up all the moves to give me a best chance to win every week, man. Because I'm just trying not to dance. I'm at the bottom. Okay, yeah. So I have Bo next. I picked up Drake May again, my boy Drake May. Um, that guy just gets points, man. He's a baller, man. I think the Patriots have someone good, but I ended up picking Gesicki. I dropped
Yeah.
Romeo Doubs because
Oh,
the Packers offense. I can't predict anything in that offense, man. It's just too hard to do
Is there a
everything.
reason why you're doing two tight ends here again? I know Gesicki
Well, it's
went
because I
off.
found out T
scored a
Higgins.
lot, but okay.
He did, but the what is it? In my other league, I still have T Higgins. I got a notification that he's probably not going to play again, and that's the reason why Gesicki's getting a lot of targets. And they're playing the Ravens. I'm fairly certain it's going to be like a very high scoring game.
That's what happened last time
Both
they played
defenses are not good.
against the
Ravens
pass.
are going to score. Yeah, Ravens are going to score, and we know that Joe Burrow has the capability of scoring 5 touchdowns, and I know Gesicki's going to at least get one of them. So,
You
because I
say
think
that,
they have
but
like
Burrow had 5 touchdowns last week and Jamar Chase had 0. So
yeah, that's true. That's true too. But maybe it's because they're shadowing him, man. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, there's no reason to double
yeah.
Yosevas, my boy Yoshi, Filipino. But yeah, him or or Gesicki or the other two tight ends that they're just like throwing passes to for some reason. But yeah, that's why I'm doing the double tight end shit. And I have no other options. Is why.
Yeah.
I wish I could put a wide receiver that I trust, but I think Gesicki's going to get me the
I mean,
points.
you do have Cortland, so like, was it Bo
I
Nix?
picked them up, yeah, but they're
Bo
playing
Nix
against
been
the
doing pretty
Chiefs
well right now.
though.
Yeah, that's true. That's the defense is there.
Yeah. And yeah, man. That's it. That's it. I think it's going to be a close one against Tyler and I because
Yeah, the current
I don't know.
projection says you
I was gonna,
43%, but we know how
Yeah,
that
but the
goes.
thing is like I don't think I think some people are getting overvalued on his team. Like their projections are higher than it should be.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill, but definitely his projection is high, but he hasn't been performing well even after Tua came
Same
back.
with same
But
with same with Pitts. I don't think Pitts is gonna. He might not even score
but
over
I
5.
mean,
Like
you never know. They can pick it up. That could also change as well.
they
So
might, they might. And the Lions be fucking around too much. Like I said, some nights Demo's gonna get like 2 touchdowns. Some games Gibbs is gonna get 2, and the other one will get 0.
Montgomery's
Like
gonna
you never
throw again,
know.
get a throw a touchdown.
You never know, man. You never
Yep.
know. So, yeah,
I mean,
I feel good. See
what
how
do you
this
think about
goes.
so in the Lions, Williams is coming back now after the suspension. So
Good. So someone will have to watch him because that dude can go crazy.
so
No, I'm being serious. Like I think
now
because he's been out, like they can focus on AMON RAW. You know what I mean? Like JMO's he's solid, man. That guy's really good. I wish I could have him on my team too, and I could start both of them sometimes. But yeah, it's when those injuries and people being out. Like look what happened to Amari and Keon. Like Keon Coleman started going crazy when Amari got there. Then Amari doesn't play and Keon doesn't do anything. It's like depends on who's out on the field. The defense has to like make adjustments for those people. So. I think I have a good shot, but I'm glad I at least have cushion to lose, and I'm used to losing in this league anyways. So what's another loss? As long as I'm not dancing, and as long as Prem and or just lose too. Sorry, guys.
All right, so I got the waivers and free agency up here. This wasn't a crazy week. It looks like you lost to Daniel Jones, but you got Cortland from Shin. So I don't know if Shin feels some type of way about that or.
I really wanted Daniel Jones. He's a really favorable matchup. I think they're playing the Panthers this week, or
Yeah.
yeah, right. Portland was
mean,
just kind of like I just threw something out there, and hopefully it'll do better than Dobbs. So
Yeah, I was actually really annoyed because my plan was to not use a waiver and then pick up Gesicki, And then I was so busy at work today, I didn't see it. And then I logged in, and you got it. And then I was like, and
Dude,
it
no
was
one
you were a
was no
whole
one was doing
hour.
anything.
You were a whole
No one was
hour
doing
after,
anything.
and I was just like,
I was busy too.
fuck.
I was busy too, and I was like, I looked at it and I was like, there's no one like grabbing anyone. So I just started grabbing some random. Like I got Demarcus Robinson, which I'm not sure why I grabbed him. I figured he'd be worth a shot, and then Gesicki, and then I had to pick up a new quarterback because I did not trust Derek Carr anymore without Olave. So Leaguemate is like no Olave and no Rashid Shaheed. It's like it's wraps for the Saints. So
Yeah. Any other? Well, I guess maybe notable. You dropped Tom Brady. You want to talk about maybe why you picked him up? Or...
oh yeah,
He was trying to
man.
go for that good talisman. He was like good talisman. So he's trying to get that.
Well,
Try to get that dub.
kind of. Yeah, kind of. I guess yeah. Shin kind of says it right. So like I picked up Tom Brady in a way to be like a locker room leader, like instill some confidence in my team. And I think 7-time Super Bowl champ, 3-time MVP, and a whole bunch of other accolades. He brings that championship like I don't know, the it factor to the team, and I needed that. I needed someone to coach his fucking team, bro. My team was underperforming, and look, when I added him, they performed well.
That is
He was
true.
probably on their ass. He
That
was
is
probably on their
true.
ass. And the thing is, I dropped him because I was hoping like he'd understand that like hopefully whatever he instilled in my team will carry on, and someone else can kind of carry that torch and be that locker room leader. But I needed some room because I can't screw around that much anymore. So I needed to make some room for other people because I could use other flexes. But
So who do you think's
yeah,
the new
Tom Brady.
leader? Who do you think's the new leader in your locker room?
I mean, it's supposed to be AMON RAW, but dude's just coasting because Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFC. So they're just like really screwing around. When I saw them throw those passes to
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
that team is
twice,
just doing whatever they
dude,
want. So like you can never predict
dude,
like who's
Yeah.
gonna score high. Like
they're,
he's
they're not
trash. They
having a hard
play.
time, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah, they're
coasting.
just
So like
screwing
you don't
around.
like they don't have a designated person where they throw the ball to every time or like to who's gonna run it. They just like do whatever the fuck they want.
The
So
cra-
like
They don't need to, man.
the
it's either
craziest
like it's like you don't know who's gonna score a lot every week.
the craziest part to me was that what they did to us was so disrespectful. Like I don't think I've ever seen an NFL team disrespect another NFL team as badly as that. And I wasn't even mad. Like the Lions are such a
I
likable
liked it.
team.
I liked it, man.
Yeah, the
I
Lions
liked
are a
it, man.
likable team, and I love their coach. He used to play for the Cowboys. He did go to
Mm-hmm.
A&M, which
Yep,
I found out later. We'll give him a pass on
I didn't
that.
know that.
But like, he's just a dude who wants to freaking win games, and he's passionate, and I can't blame him. And Jared Goff,
I
like,
told I,
I was a hater on him in college. I remember the game when he came to Texas, and then he beat us, and I remember thinking like he's not that good. Like I remember watching the game, and like that was just when Texas was terrible. And I also
yeah,
remember separately Sam Darnold beating us, but I think
yeah,
that was already after I was out of college. But I remember watching the game, and I also remember thinking Sam Darnold was
yeah.
not that good. But Jared Goff, I was like, this guy's overhyped. Like he's not that good. He went to the Rams. I feel like he got carried to the Super Bowl by how strong their defense was, plus how good of a coach
Running back.
McVay is. And was it Gurley at the time, or am I tripping?
Yeah, it was tall. It was Todd Gurley. Yeah,
Yeah, so like I thought he got
yeah.
carried, but then after he got traded to Detroit, I felt kind of bad for him. I was like, man, they gave up on this dude. Like I felt like they kind of did him
It worked
dirty.
out.
But now he's balling out in Detroit, and like they love him. So I don't know. I'll cheer
It
for
worked
him.
out, man.
You have to
It
give him
worked
credit
out
where
for
credit is
him.
due. Okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like
Um,
he, like his stats aren't crazy. Like I think I looked at it today, and he's the 15th ranked quarterback. But like he doesn't make mistakes, and he
He
performs. He
doesn't.
does what he
Yeah,
needs to do, which is all you can
doesn't have to
ask.
go crazy, man. He does not
Yeah.
need to go crazy. He's got to not turn the ball over and just play it safe, man.
Yeah.
It's like the Brock Purdy way, man.
Yeah.
Just don't
I like
just don't
Brock
turn
Purdy,
it
man. I
over.
wish we
And
had Brock Purdy.
this is a separate topic, real quick, but if we had another quarterback, I wish we had Joe Burrow, man. I
I wish
like
we had
that dude,
Lamar.
man.
I want Lamar
The
Jackson.
thing, the thing with the thing with Lamar though, man, I think he needs a team that's like fitting for him. I don't
Mhm.
think Cowboys have that team for him. Like
Yeah.
I don't think we're built for that type of game, that play style, and that's why we never draft any of those like athletic like quarterbacks. We always have like pocket pass quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That's just how I see it, at least. Well, I guess I might be making some shit up because like Tony Romo was kind of agile, but that's because his O line was terrible. Dak was running before he got hurt, so maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I do like the Michael Vick type of quarterback, but I feel like it's not like longevity wise, it's just not smart.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's gonna last long, and we've seen that, RG3, Michael Vick for different reasons, Cam Newton, it's usually pretty short lived.
Yeah.
But then you got dudes like freaking Joe Flacco still in the league, slanging it, and who else? Like Andy Dalton. Come on, man! Like I don't know how these guys are still in the league, but they're still doing their thing. So
Let's go
I
to
guess
get.
Andy Dalton's not anymore though. I
Yeah.
forgot that Bryce Young's back at the helm.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take it to trade. So I think these trades are actually they're from last week, but I don't know if I included them on the last podcast. Was this?
I mean, there's a recent trade that's been
I just saw.
pending
Yeah,
right
I saw.
now.
There's a recent trade. So
Really?
I
yeah,
don't know if you saw it,
Really?
Jesse.
I did
Yes.
see
I
it.
didn't see it. I did
Yeah.
not see it. I haven't been on my phone.
So I did. I made a
Uh,
trade with Tyler like an hour
I got it up.
ago, I think.
I got it up on the screen right now.
Okay.
Wow. This will go into effect this week. I'm playing Tyler.
Yeah, but
This
the
is
thing
good.
is, Mike Evans is not gonna play anyways.
That's why this is good for me.
Yeah, I don't think he's planning on putting those two players even on his roster, like on his on the starters, because like he has Devontae Adams, Zay Flowers, Tyreek Hill on his team right now. So I guess he has enough like wide receivers where he's like, okay, I'm gonna make this trade. I'm gonna go for the long run, maybe trying to win the league. So let me get Mike Evans once it's back. I'll put him in because they'll try to put him in. To me, I needed a wide receiver. I needed a wide receiver, so I was like, okay, shit, I'll take this trade. I don't care. Jaden Reed and Jameson Williams. I mean, I think it's a solid
That's
trade.
fair. I think it's a fair trade. Yeah, no comment. I think it's good enough.
Yeah, dude. I accepted that. As after he
Was he?
sent
Oh,
that
he was.
request, like
Was he?
within 5 minutes, I
He was
accepted that
one.
offer, man. Yeah, within 5 minutes, I was like, I saw it. I'm like, okay, shit, let's go for it. So I need a wide receiver. Mike Evans out for a couple weeks still, so
yeah, I got the other trade up here. Maybe Jesse, you're on two of them. You want to comment anything you want to comment on these?
Am I going to talk about all my trades at some point in this podcast?
Yeah, I want to do like a big trade analysis later on, but that's going to take a lot of work. So I'm gonna need to work on that. If there's any that aren't here, like a couple that you really want to highlight, we can do that.
No, I guess I'll just off the top of my head, I've made like trades with everyone in this league except for like
me,
2 or 3 people. I think you're one of them, and then Prem and Chase are the others that I haven't traded with. I think I've traded with literally everyone else. Oh, and Joji. So I made trades with at least half the league, and some people twice. Like I've traded Tyler twice, Shin maybe twice. Yeah, man, I'm an avid trader, especially when it comes to trying to make your team better. I would have to say 60% of them were good and 40% of them were terrible trades. But sometimes you're just really desperate and you want to win that specific week, and you think the matchups that these players are going to be doing the next couple weeks after are going to be great for you. And I would say my trade for DJ Moore, which then was one of those ones that were kind of like really crappy, but I ended up getting off of ETN, and I ended up using DJ Moore to get Bo Nix, which I've been pretty high on Bo Nix because he's been playing really well. And I was not expecting that, being like one of the older players coming out of college. I think he went to Oregon.
And didn't he trade Mason to you at one point?
Yeah, I actually got Mace. That was one of my other bad trades. I was desperate. I wanted Gino and I wanted Mason. And I gave him Kenneth Walker and I forgot who the other person was, but I was desperate. And I gave him Devontae. And Devontae was not traded at the time. Can you hear me? Devontae was not traded at the time, but I could not wait because I needed to win now. Jordan Mason ended up getting hurt one game. He had like an AC joint sprain, and he played like nothing the rest of the game. And yeah, Geno Smith's been okay, but yeah, Jordan Mason just was not playing as I thought he would, leading to the bye right before CMC's predicted to come back. So that was a wasted trade. I think my trade with Nathan's been really good for me though, because T. Higgins has been not playing. He's not playing again this week. James Conner has been good, but I needed to throw in something good to get something good. And that's how I feel about trades, man. Like I know you have a different philosophy than me, but I'm willing to throw in good players for players that I think are going to be better. And you just got to take that risk, in my opinion. At least that's the way I like to play, and it makes it more fun because you experience. It's almost like gambling. Like there's a chance that you can like be like, I won this trade, but then you also risk the chance of like, man, like I got screwed or like it kind of owed me, and that's not like I've experienced both in this league, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron Jones has been nice for me, Hopkins has been nice for me. So Nathan really hooked it up inadvertently, but I hope for his sake that T Higgins plays because I need T Higgins to play in my other league as well. James Conner is solid, so
Yeah.
yeah. And I can't remember that Kamara trade is one of my best
Yeah.
ones.
That was a blockbuster trade.
The thing is, like, after Jesse made that trade, he won. Then also, the one with Nathan, he won. And
Yeah,
also,
but I should have won a lot of these though, Shin. Like the ones after I traded Tyler, my first one,
here's the
Jordan
thing,
Mason
Jesse,
should have won me. Just look at the matchup,
I
man.
know,
He got
I know
hurt.
what you mean.
Got hurt right before,
Well,
right after I traded him.
The thing about the
All right,
one
guys,
thing I
we
want
need
to
to
say
keep it
is,
moving. We still got a lot of stuff.
I didn't want to talk some shit, but okay, go ahead.
All
Shin,
right.
you had your time, Shin.
This is the time to talk shit. So I got the power rankings up. Our faces are covering up this number 5 for Shin. So you'll just have
All
to,
right.
the way this works, I'll click it and then it'll come on the screen. Shin, why'd you turn your video off? Bro. Okay, well, we've lost
Just move
Shin.
forward. He'll come back.
All right, now he's back. Oh
Alright.
my god, this guy.
Oh, you changed.
I'm trying to watch this stream right now. It's not showing up on mine.
Okay, well, I'll just tell it to you, Shin.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
All right, so we got the power rankings up. I'll click on it. I think it's gonna do
Oh,
you
I see it.
guys
I see it now. I see
individually.
it now. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I
perfect.
see it now.
All right, you're up, Jesse.
Sure, I wish you could show all of them at once. Wade, I can't remember, but the way I do my power rankings is I do it. I know you want to do it week by week and stuff like that. I look at the whole season and I look at the week. So
It should be
Wade's,
both. It should be both.
yeah, I can't even. I don't even know. Like now, I can't remember why I put Wade, but I look at the PA and the PF, and those weigh very, very heavily for me. Like I think if you're scoring a lot, but you're not getting scored on a lot, you don't really deserve to be at the top unless you're like on a great winning streak or like you have. I also look at the team too. If your team's nice, I'll rank you higher too, because I know like your team's actually good and you're not just having like people that are over being like playing better than their projections are or what they're supposed to play like. But Wade's solid, man. Wade's got a good team. He's built it really nicely. He's also a very avid trader too. So shout out to Wade, man. I like that. I don't remember his PF or his PA or whatever. Mason, same thing. I know this is probably like super generic, but I literally just look at, let me bring it up, man. So I can talk a little more about it. So Mason, um, I put him, I know, and even though he's number 3 in the standings, I think for him, he hasn't been scoring him very much. And that's probably why I didn't rate him that high. Tyler, I love his team. He's kind of middle of the pack. I know he's number 5 on the standings, but based on his PF and PI, I think he deserves to be higher. So I'll put him at 3. Michael, I'll put you next. I think you've won a couple in a row, I think maybe, but you've scored a ton and your team's pretty nice. And you have like kind of like a lower end of the PA, but because you're scoring so freaking much, there's no way I can't rank you at least in the top 3. So I put you at number 2.
I'll take it. I think it's fair.
And number 1, I put Nathan, man. Is Nathan? Yeah, I knew I put Nathan. Nathan's team is freaking good, man. Like he gets scored on a lot and he scores a lot. So his standing is how it should be. He's number 1 in the standings, and it's how it should be. And there's no other right answer in my opinion. So
I will say
that's
though,
what it is.
I did beat Nathan head to head.
That's fair, but we don't do divisions
Just
now.
want to point that
And
out.
and based on the week, that's fair. But based on the week, you could have buys. You could have buys. There could be injuries. So like one game's not going to be much for me. That's why like me beating you. Do you think that weighs heavily? I don't think so.
No, I'm just messing. All right,
I'll take the win though because I need that can get.
you needed it. Yeah. All right, Shin, you have Joji at 5. Oh, actually, before
Okay.
that, one thing I want to say before we go to Shin is that There's currently, I think, a 6-way tie by record, and Shin is the only. Shin is the one that you chose to leave
5.
off. Oh, it's a 5. It's a
It's a
5-way
5-way
tie.
tie.
Okay, but
Yeah.
Shin's in that
I left
5-way
Shin
tie, but
off.
you
Yeah.
left Shin off. So
Okay.
let's
I left
explain.
Shin off.
Yeah, explain yourself
The
there.
reason why I put Wade and Tyler above him is because Shin has like the third lowest PA,
Used to be the lowest
and he
PA.
don't.
I said the
Yeah,
lowest. I mean,
I will say that.
I can't really disagree with Jesse said. I don't think compared to other teams that are like currently in that power ranking right now, like a top 5. I don't think I have a better team against any of them, to be honest. So, like, based on what I've done throughout the entire league is like using the waivers and trying to like either switch them out, especially the wide receivers, maybe tight ends, especially and the defense. That's how I pretty much am playing right now in order to clutch it up. But in terms of like actual team base and how they are, I don't think I have a chance against those 5 people.
Yeah, Shin's team sucks. Is what he's trying to say, and it's
I would
true.
say the team itself, I don't think it's better than those five teams right now. But like the choices that I make as far as the waiver, they've been paying off, which is why I'm at that rank. So
you're not
people
unlucky.
can say
You're not a lucky MFR anymore.
Yeah, people can say people been saying like I'm just getting fucking lucky. But at this point of time, like we're in week 10 right now. Like you have to give credit where credit's due. You have to put some respect on my name.
Okay.
Put some respect on my name.
Yeah, if I were to do if this was up to 6, I think you'd be 6. I'm not saying you're at the bottom, but you ain't top 5 in my opinion.
No, I agree with that too. I don't even think I'm even.
That's where he wants to be, right in the middle.
Yeah, right in the middle. Bring that balance. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I should be in either 6 or 7. To be honest with you, it's really just the waiver picks that I'm and taking a chance on different players and being able to, clutch it up. Because I am the chosen one, right? I'm bringing the balance in. I'm already in the promised land. I mean, if I don't win the league, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't have to dance anyways. Jesse is still struggling right now, so he's still like biting his nails right now to see whether or not if he's gonna dance or he's not gonna dance. He has a chance, but you never know what's gonna happen. So I'm good with that.
All right, so should you have Joji at 5?
I really don't know what I. Could you just show? Is it okay if you could just show all the ranks? So because I can't remember who I ranked at all. But Joji, I think. I kind of think that Joji, his team is all right, but I really have faith in CeeDee Lamb and AJ Brown like booming. But I'm not sure how CeeDee Lamb's going to be now after Prescott is hurt. But like I feel like whenever the CeeDee Lamb got that 30-something points, like so he could clutch up that entire week just from that one player. All right, so I think he has a lot of clutch factor. His players, especially the wide receivers. So which is why especially all of his wide receivers. I think those are the key components for him to clutching it. So I ranked him 5. Tyler, I like Tyler's team. He's been performing really well, but he's been on that decline recently. But I see whatever I rank this, I would look at the performance. I mean, I know they have potentials, but they may have potential. They should be scoring high, like Jesse said, like for his team. But still, like you still gotta look at the facts. As of right now, I don't think 2 weeks in a row. I don't think his team has been performing well, which is I kind of put him down. I'm pretty sure I had him at first or second
a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago, but I had to score. I mean, because of those last 2 weeks performance, I had to put him there. Who's that? Is that Wade?
Yep.
Yeah, Wade's team. I think Wade's team is pretty solid. I think.
Oh yeah, this is the old picture. It's the Kaiba.
Yeah. Yeah, I think his team is finally picking up. I think the only thing that I would say about Wade is like his QBs are pretty weak compared to all of his players. So that's kind of his Achilles heels, I think. So, but he's been playing pretty solid recently. But like I said, like looking at the last 2 weeks' performance, I have to put him up there.
I think the last two are probably pretty obvious.
Yeah, Michael. I mean, he's been performing pretty solid. I'm not sure if that A-Chain trade was good for him. I know. I mean, we kind of talked about the reasoning why he traded Achane, but Lamar Jackson and Saquon, man, those
they're
two,
carrying
those
my
two,
pool.
those two will pretty much get you 50 something
Yeah,
points.
they'll hit me like 50.
Just from there, those two will get
Yeah.
you 50 something points. It's just that, like,
Dude, I
if you look
I
at
scored
it,
130 without two of my players getting anything.
yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
and mostly
ridiculous.
It's Saquon and Lamar Jackson. So like
Yeah.
you can't. And Joe Burrow has been performing. Like I think Michael has like the two best QBs right now,
Easily.
easily.
Yep.
And Saquon, just out of those three, you can get 70 points. So I mean, just from that, and if the other players just perform how they perform, that'll be good. So yeah, it's blowing up for him. Nathan, I think Nathan has the best team right now. Josh Allen, Joe Mixon. His wide receivers are solid. Flex are solid. Like, I don't think I could. There's nothing that I could really say that's like bad. Anything that's like, oh, I think this could be better or not. Like, even his defense, like he has Pittsburgh right now, and it's like on his bench. So like he's all set. I think he has the potential to win the entire thing.
All right,
Unless
so
I mean, unless Debo gets hurt or players,
which he
or
probably
some
will.
of the players. Yeah,
Yeah.
Debo gets hurt a lot, so we'll see. But yeah, Nathan's up there for sure.
Yeah, so I got the votes here, which looks like Nathan and then me is pretty much ubiquitous across the league.
And nobody voting for me now, huh?
No, Mason's at 3, which neither of y'all had. Shin didn't have it all in his top 5. Jesse had a 4.
They're just following the standings.
Standings, yeah. Is that what the standings actually are right now?
Yeah.
Is that?
Interesting.
Oh,
Well, no,
really?
Shin and Tyler are switched, but the reason why Mason's number 3 is that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay, so here's who everyone voted for. My face looks like it's covering it a little bit, but I think it'll be fine. What I kind of found here notable, Mason is the only one who had himself, like every other person, it was either me or Nathan or me, and he's the only person who put himself at 2. Let me go back up here. He's that one that's right here. So
That one dude.
yeah, I like the
I don't know about
confidence,
that.
but
I don't know about that.
yeah, I don't know about that. Nate, and it's funny. Nathan put me over him. I think he's just being extra friendly. I don't know if he truly believes that or if he's just trying to be nice. The other thing I kind of noticed was Shin was the only one who had Wade over 4. So he had Wade at 3, and nobody else had him over 4.
Yeah. I mean, you got to look at those two performances, man. He's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, which I mean, it's
The
fine
reason,
to bias recency because like with power ranking, that's kind of how it is. Like that's
yeah,
how
I
they
made changes
yeah.
over there.
Yeah. All right, so got the league standings up here. I actually forgot to take notes on this slide, but I feel like as the league goes on, this stuff is changing less and less. But yeah, Nathan's he has a slight lead on me in PF. I had PF for the longest time, and then he took it up for me a couple weeks ago. I'm falling down in PA, but it's kind of annoying because like the last couple weeks that I've had my opponents put up like no points, I've like blown them out. So it's like even if they put up like 20 more points each, I still would have won. So it kind of just makes my PA look worse. Which, like you said, my me and PF is high, so it's kind of notable. But I still have the highest max PF, so I need to get better at picking my players. Kind of what I've noticed for myself. But um, yeah, other than that, it looks like Shin and Tyler went down, me, Mason, Nathan all on the come up, which is kind of how it was before. Me early in the league, I was at the top with Mason, and then Tyler and Shin kind of took us over. And now we took it back.
Yeah, I'm at the bottom where I belong. So my standing is reasonable considering I'm like towards the bottom for PFP and max PF for that
Yeah.
matters. Yeah, that's cool with me. My team's just not performing, like I said.
So I got the accuracy stats up here. I did take notes on this slide. I noticed that Tyler has been really going downward. So last week he had moved down 2 spots in accuracy, and now he's moved down another one. So he's down 3 spots in the last couple weeks. Nathan and Mason both had better weeks. So like that's what denotes that green here is that it was better than the previous week for them. but they both went down still just because the person below them had a much better week than they did. And then I don't know if this is really interesting, but I performed slightly worse, but I still kind of held my spot. So overall, my accuracy, I guess, isn't that bad, but be better to be in that 90% for sure. Prame, I also like. Prame used to be way down here, and he's kind of brought his accuracy up quite a bit, but he just doesn't have the right players. I don't
He
think
probably has a lot of
yeah.
people on the bench that they deserve to be on the bench type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he has that, and then recently I think he's had a lot of people going by. But this is his
Yeah,
first year
so
in
he has no other
fantasy.
option to go accurate.
Yeah, this is his
Yeah,
first year ever doing fantasy. He'll get better. Anything else you guys find
oh for
notable on
sure.
this slide?
That dude's gonna go ham when CNC gets healthy, man.
I hope
Probably at
so.
the end of the year.
I hope so.
Yeah, he is a good team.
All right, so we got Dance Watch up now. I don't think it's any surprise that Prame is leading the charge on the top. But Jesse, this is the first time you are not in the top 2. So how does that feel?
Dude, it feels great, man. One thing I'm surprised that no one else is in the promised land yet.
Oh
No
no,
one?
you'll see. There we
Oh,
go.
okay, damn.
Oh, look at that. 5
Yeah.
people already in the promised land.
Yeah, it's
Congrats,
fine.
y'all.
Half the league is now safe with 2 weeks left.
Wow. So these 5 on the left are the ones remaining, huh?
Yeah, which
That's cool.
I actually kind of realized until later, but I think I didn't look at the data right, and I had Mason in here, but like it was impossible for him. Like he shouldn't have even been in here. So yeah,
Nice. I'm happy.
yeah,
I gotta win one more time, then I'll be at the promised land too.
yeah. You just gotta win one more. I hope we
Oh,
do
you
get
have one
down
more
to the
left,
wire
Jesse?
with
Oh, okay.
with the one last week. That'd
That'd
be
be really
good.
Unless,
interesting.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, you're right.
yeah. As far as here, so Shin, I was wondering how did you put Prem in 4? Like, was that just a mistake?
No, I think
You think he's
the
gonna
reason
clutch up in
being,
the last couple
I think it's
weeks?
gonna clutch it up because of like I don't know. Think about Christian McCaffrey coming back. I just feel like that's gonna be a huge thing for Preem because his RBs are besides Bijan Robinson, his RB is kind of not there. Like Tank Bigsby that is not hasn't been performing well. So if he get those extra points, and I think his receivers are pretty solid with Pickens and is it Wilson playing together. So I think he's gonna. I mean, he's gonna put him in there.
Oh,
So I think he's gonna blow. I think with Bijan and all that, I think he's gonna recover. I think he has a
I
solid
think
team for this week.
Shin has a good point. He has a pretty good point though. Let me see. Yeah, and he's playing Mason, he's playing Shin these last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So
So I think he still has a good
yeah,
chance of beating me if McCaffrey does perform well with
Is
Pickens
it
in
is
there.
McCaffrey playing this week?
I think so.
he's not off IR yet, but they're saying he's like practicing right now or doing
Mm-hmm.
simulated practices.
I
Don't they
heard
But
he's
have to
even
gonna
if
be
he
get hurt
comes
really
back
quick
this
activated?
though.
week, but the thing is, even if he plays this week, Shin, that dude ain't going for 30. Let's be real. He's gonna play probably like
No,
limited
no, no.
snaps.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying he has to score 30 or anything like that. But the thing is, like, I also have to take my team into account. I don't know if like JT James Cook has been performing well last week, and I mean they're coming off
Yeah, I
injury,
guess
so I don't
so.
know if they're going to perform well. So if I take that into consideration, if
Bruh,
McCaffrey has
we're
a
going,
solid,
dude,
yeah, solid game, he
dude.
might less.
Jalen Hurts finna go for like 50 against us, man. What you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean,
We're fine.
and also Kyler Murray is like I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do.
Mm,
I have no doubts about Jalen Hurts, but like JT James Cook is coming out of injury. Kyler Murray either scores high, doesn't score anything. So only solid like consistent players, Jalen Hurts and Chuba. That's about
mm.
it in my team. So like if McCaffrey comes back, Pickens plays well, I think he has a pretty solid chance. I don't know if Cooper is gonna be playing this week with his injury, but if he just get more practice with the new team, he can score. So I feel like that's gonna happen. So I
Jesse,
think he has a solid chance.
You're the only one now who put yourself at 1.
2 matchups. I face against Tyler, and then I go against Wade. And Tyler's, even though he's been losing the last couple, I think he's still good. And then Wade is on a heater, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
scared of Wade too. So I could definitely lose. I could to and still maybe be tied with Jason Prim, and all three of us are going to dance. I don't know what the stipulations are for that, but if we're all going to dance, or whoever has the worst PF or whatever, which I think is what it comes down to, and there's a tiebreaker. So it's probably me. I think I'm one of the worst PFs in the league.
It's still a possibility. If Chase clutches up against Michael, he has to go against
that'll
me.
change a lot.
So that's gonna, and if Jesse loses, if Jesse loses, it's because we don't know what the hell's gonna happen.
Yeah. The only other thing I found kind of interesting, or actually kind of sad on here, was that this is the first week since we've done this that Prem has voted himself as one most likely to dance.
He's conceded finally, huh?
Yeah. Maybe deep in his heart, he's either given up or he's just being realistic now.
Preem, I don't know if you guys saw Preem's profile picture, but he has Super Saiyan right now. Seeing that he has to go, I don't know if he's trying to go Super Saiyan or he wants to go to be Super Saiyan, but he needs to change that profile picture into Vegeta or something. I don't know if you know the Cell arc, whatever, when Vegeta was he couldn't get to Super Saiyan 2 and he was still Super Saiyan 1, but he was getting fucking, cooked by Cell, the final form, the perfect form. It's Super Saiyan, but it's not Super Saiyan, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
He needs to change that. That's all I'm saying.
Shots are fired, Prem. So remember that, because you're playing Shin next week or the week after.
All
right, so getting into the superlatives, I voted Chase too. I was kind of busy today, so I didn't spend as much time thinking about who I was gonna vote beforehand. But I feel like Chase just, he scored pretty well, but Wade, he just happened to go against Wade. I think Chase scored the sixth highest. Yeah, Chase scored the sixth highest in the league this week, but just happened to go against someone with more points. So I kind of put him over there.
That's why I put him.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Tyler put me in there.
Wade just happened to score 150. So that's
I think Wade. I might need to think of a better way to write this out, but Wade voted for you, and you voted for Tyler, Shin.
Oh, I voted for Tyler?
Yeah, the one on left is the result, and then these are the people that voted for them.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So you voted for Tyler, but Wade voted for you.
I'm surprised Wade voted for me.
Yeah.
I think it's because of my if I put in the right teams, I could have won. Maybe. Yeah. But I always pick up waivers, so I don't know. I'm trying to. I always decide who should I put them in. So they might blow off, or they might on that booboo. So I don't this dude Smith and Jibba got 33 points whenever I picked him up. I didn't expect that, man.
Yeah, and Chuba Hubbard, I feel like you picked him up randomly, and he's been one of your most reliable starters since then.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be this reliable, but I did notice that he performed really well, and he was the starting running back, which is why I picked him.
Yeah.
But he's been pretty consistent, man. So I kept him in.
So for on that boo boo, last week looks like Jesse ran away with it. This week kind of got split between Tyler and Prem. Who did I vote for? I voted for Shin.
You voted for me. Why'd you vote for me, man?
I don't know. I think it's just because.
If
you got destroyed by Jesse.
I got destroyed, but if you see my score, it's 108. But that wasn't the lowest during that week, though.
Maybe I just felt like it.
Either Mason or you felt like it. I see how it is.
I can't remember why I put Chase. Maybe he's on a losing streak or something, or
he is. He's on a 3-week losing streak.
Yeah, I think that's why I put him. He's the longest. He's the largest losing streak right now. I think Prem is on a 2-week losing streak. I don't think so. I put Chase.
Lucky MF. God damn, Jesse.
I voted for myself too, though. I voted for myself, and the reason why I did that was because my team finally performed. So I got lucky in that sense, because my team has not been performing. So I got lucky that they finally performed when I needed them to, because I'm going through a gauntlet of people, Finn, then Tyler, and then Wade. So I need to be more lucky. Hopefully I'm lucky MF the next few weeks too. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, the only other thing that I had on here is that I don't know why Joji voted for me. I feel like my team, I had 2 guys go for nothing, but I did have everyone else.
You voted for yourself too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of felt like voting for myself because I didn't want to vote for someone else that I didn't really spend the time to take to really see if I did think they were lucky.
You don't want that bad karma on you. That's why.
The only thing I guess from this week that kind of felt nice was that like the Saquon had like a probably season highlight, like season level highlight. Like I think that play is going to go down in NFL history. And
I don't think it's season. That's like all.
Yeah, that's
all
time.
time.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's an all-time highlight. And
yeah.
Since I
Dude,
had
that
him
was
on my
some anime
team,
shit, man. That was some anime shit that he pulled up. I'm like, how the hell did he do
that's
this?
he activated that Ultra Instinct.
That was a dangerous play. That hurdle was a dangerous play, I feel like.
Yeah, that was pure instinct. That wasn't even like he wasn't even thinking, man. I think he just did it. But I was watching it live and I have him on my team, so that was dope. But I don't know. I gave it to myself. Here's the new standings. Jesse, I think you'll be very happy. You're finally no longer the Fleek King.
I'm not happy. I just didn't understand how I still. I know how the superlatives work. It's just crazy, and not like how I was still Fleet King after how many weeks of me being hoed, but not necessarily getting hoed. But yeah, I'm on that booboo. That's fine. At least Shin's there with me.
Why am I there? Why am I there?
The reasoning's right there on the screen. You should read it.
I'm in the promised land, guys. You shouldn't vote for me. Don't vote for me. I'm in the promised land. Y'all need to worry about yourself. The bottom 5 people. Y'all need to worry about yourself, okay? Y'all need to vote for other people, not me. That's in the promised land. Last week with Tyler, okay? Can't put me in there.
Don't get mad. This is math, bro. That's how it works. This is math. You can't argue with math. It's simple math, man.
All right, so I have something in store for you guys that it's new. No one really has seen this before on the podcast. But before we get to it, I want to see, is there anything else about the league you want to talk about before we change gears?
Yeah, I'm finna win this league. Just give me like how many? Give me like 8 more weeks. I'm gonna win this league.
Okay. Shin, anything else you got?
I might dance though.
For me, I'm fine with not winning. I'm in promised land. I don't have to dance. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed, like I did find the fantasy last year, but this year for sure is very exciting. It's very fun. It's like playing with people that talking shit. Making
That's
all
what
these.
That's what we like.
Making all these plays. Like I've been checking a lot, like on my phone for like recently a lot. So,
yep.
I'm good. I'm good with not winning this thing. I'm fine with that, y'all. Okay. Like I said, bring the balance. Bring the balance to this league. That's my job, and I got it done. Because I'm the chosen one.
All right, so for this next segment, for this next segment, I was thinking of something that would this is an idea I've had for a bit, and I think it also just fit in perfectly because I have Jesse and Shin on this episode. But the name of this next segment is "Stay in Discord with Us." So
what is this?
So this is kind of a play on an inside joke between the two of us and some of our other lost brethren that are no longer with us.
I mean, they'll be at the bachelor party. What do you
mean?
Dead.
They're not dead. They're not dead.
Leaving them out, man.
They could have been in the league. They both had an invite, and it was actually this close. Daniel almost did it because he felt bad that Rafi wasn't going to do it because of him. And then Rafi backed down. And I was like, "No, just get out. We'll get someone else." But they could have been in here. But we used to have this saying where we would say "stay in Skype," which this the backstory on that. Actually, Shane, how about you tell the story on "stay in Skype"?
So this is back in college when we used to have this late night session of GII. Whenever I say GII, we're playing games. Okay, we're not doing something else. Okay, so we used to play until like 1 or 2 a.m.
on average,
right? On average, we used to play like a lot of League of Legends, whatever games that were popping, and I think at the end of the session we were all trying to leave, but Michael still. Keep in mind, we still did. We had homework. We had to study for a test, but we didn't give a fuck. We just, we still played. Then all of a sudden, towards the end of the session, I was about to leave, and Michael was like, "Hey, Shin, could you stay in Sky with me?" I was like, "What the fuck?" why? He's like, I gotta do my homework. Could you say in Skype? And
Alright, boys. Shin said some slightly out of pocket stuff here, so we're gonna do a little fast forwarding in this section.
Whoa.
You're gonna pause, bro.
That's fast. I don't want. I
I'm
don't want
sorry.
to be part of. I don't want to be part of this.
I'm not.
I don't condone
Okay,
this
I'm just
language.
It was like how about that? Was that a better way to put it?
These are your words, not mine.
Mind you, he didn't. Yeah, he said it, and he was like,
I don't.
"No
I don't
dates."
support anything that this guy's saying, man.
Okay, so it's fine. It's fine.
I love everyone. This guy.
Hey, I'll be accountable for it. This guy don't have anything to do with it. But like, I was like, "What the fuck did he just say to me?" And I was like,
Well, man,
"I didn't say what the fuck." Yeah, it was good. I didn't say what the fuck. I was like, all I said was, "Okay." And
So,
that Diddy-esque tone. That's
well, yeah, essentially, that was a long way of Shin trying to say that they would just stay on after we play games just to be in each other's company.
I think that happened after that one incident. I think it just naturally happened a couple of times. Like whenever we just want to stay in Skype or just want to have a conversation. So that I think that was like the thing between Michael and I.
And then kind of everyone, but and
it came with but it was just us two from the start. Then like I think Jessie chimed in, Daniel chimed in too.
Because one of the things
I'm going to sleep, man.
Because one of the things it's like, we spent so many hours gaming, and like gaming was fun, but the real fun was just hanging out with your boys, shooting the shit, bullshitting, and all that. So that's what we were really there for, which is what we're doing right now too. Now we're just recording it.
Right.
Yeah, very true.
The reason I wanted to call this Stay at Discord is just because after we finish talking fantasy football, I think I want to just have some topics that we can bullshit around on and add to the end of the podcast, and we can kind of take it however we want. So I have some stuff prepared, which we'll go ahead and get into the first one. So Jessie wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of history on where Fellowship of the Fleek comes from. So right up here, where does Fleek come from? Now, I included the picture on the left, which is the reference to eyebrows on Fleek. Which is where you might think this comes from, but it actually isn't. Yeah. And I'll let Jessie tell you where Fleek comes, because Fleek came from me and Jessie. Me and Jessie brought Fleek into the group.
Yeah.
I don't know this backstory, so I would like to know this. Yeah, I don't know that.
You probably did, but you just forgot.
Do I? Okay.
Probably. And I'm surprised no one's questioned it, because it just seems like a stupid name if you don't really know what it means. Like Fellowship of the Fleek is the name of our league name, but essentially, eyebrows on Fleek, just if everyone doesn't know, it's a viral Vine, I believe, where this girl's like talking about her eyebrows being on Fleek meaning they're like on point or they're perfect, right? But the guy on the right, he's a YouTuber back in the golden age of YouTube. His name is Duke Tequila.
All right, boys, I just wanted to add an audio that I'm going to put a couple links to some of his old videos in the description if you're curious on checking it out.
And this is the guy, I think Michael probably shared a video of him to me initially, and I got hooked on this guy's channel because he was one of the OG gaming, like streaming gaming, or before like streaming became a thing. He was like recording his games of Madden, Grand Theft Auto 4 and 5, I believe. 2K. I was watching the 2K ones like crazy. He would usually play Madden against like his cousin named Tank or his friend named Tank. He'd play 2K My Career, which he'd make his own character and like you'd follow his character throughout the season. That was like the funniest part in my opinion. And then he also played GTA. But essentially, a lot of our lingo, if you ever hear Michael, Shin, and I and other people in our group called the Fleek Squad, when we talk, we have like these like random things that you probably wouldn't know what we're talking about, and some people have questioned it. Like when you say GII, or you say like like Damba or like hoed, and all these things are on that booboo. These are all things that I think essentially they all stem from this guy's language and like his twang, but he would always say like things like get Fleek nasty with it, or like get fleeky with it. And then there's also things that he would say that was like, and the thing before I get onto that, like the term Fleek for him was not on point or perfect. It was more like it kind of has like a twofold, and we might have evolved it in a way, but Fleek was like just like a gesture for like like nice or cool or
Yeah.
awesome. That was like the adjective for him. But then we evolved it to be like three parts of the way I feel like. So the noun fleek is like it's just a noun, right? It could mean anything essentially. But getting fleeked, like in the past tense, is a bad thing. Like if you get fleeked, it's a bad thing. That's like you got fucked, you know.
Mm-hmm. Got
And
flicked
then
up from the feet up.
yeah, or if you're getting fleeky with it, that's a good thing.
Yep.
Or if you're like
We wouldn't
or
say
if
on
it's
fleek.
fleeky,
Fleeky,
like
yeah.
if you say no, if it's fleeky, right, that's a good thing too. Or but then also if you say like, do you, and
Do you
then there's
fleek with
also a
that?
different side of it.
Do you fleek
Do
with
you like,
that?
yeah, do you like it, or like do you? It's also like, are you gonna fleek? Like, which means like, are you gonna get yours essentially, sexually? So like if we're like, so like let's say like someone in our group is like going on a date, and it's like, are y'all gonna fleek? It'll be like, are y'all gonna do something? Is essentially what someone would be saying. So this means a lot of things, right? But we've taken a lot of our sayings, and I've thought about this before, like, come out the water. That's from
Yeah.
this guy too.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Like he'd be like, I'm coming up out the water. He'd be like, know your role. That's not your role, or like it's not in your game. Like I say
Yeah.
that a lot when we're playing.
Yeah.
Like that's not in your game. He'll say like gosh, there's another thing. One of the biggest ones is I'm gonna get mines. Like we say that a
Yeah,
lot,
that's right. I
and
forgot that that was
that's
it.
from Duke. That's from Duke. He'd be like, I don't care about you, but
But
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
get
get
mines.
mine.
Yeah, I was like, don't worry about you, or don't worry about me, because I'm gonna get mines. He always says that shit, and that was so funny. And we say that all the time. Like I'm gonna get mines regardless. That's all Duke. So we just took that and we made our. So the way that our post high school gaming chat, which is not, it's not really gaming, but we just happen to play games a lot. But like we just talk about a whole bunch of random things. Especially today, post election, we had a very big debate. But our chat on Facebook Messenger, which is like has years and years of archived messages and all that, it's called Fleek Squad.
You know what? That's
And
called Too
Michael
Easy
just took.
Next.
What was it called? Too easy
It's
next? What's
called
Fleek
Too Easy.
Squad
It's
then?
no. I think our Discord is called Fleek Squad, but the actual
Oh
official
yeah,
messenger
yeah.
is called Too Easy
That's right.
Next.
It's true. And that's a
But
different.
but we
That's a whole
we
different
call
story.
ourselves
Yeah.
the Fleek Squad.
We call ourselves Fleek Squad. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's where Fellowship the Fleet comes from, man. Yeah,
yeah.
with yeah.
And I would say of
Shout out
all
to
of
the
our
dude,
lingo,
man.
Fleek is the most impactful and substantial of
It is,
them
man.
by far. It's not even
Yeah,
close.
that dude was so funny, man. He was like the most funny like gaming streamer, like before streaming became popular. So funny.
Yeah. So that's where
Yeah,
Fleek
man.
comes from. Now you guys know. All right,
We
so
have so many words to talk about if this
I know
is
we
what
need to
the
write them down at some point, just so that we have
we have
Like a
them.
so
dictionary.
Yeah, we need
many.
a dictionary.
There are a lot of things that we don't say anymore. I think, but
Yeah,
like yeah, like
yeah,
Flick is
It
definitely up there
evolves.
now.
It evolves
It
over time.
evolves. Yeah, we change over time.
yeah.
Like Hoeing and Fleek, we've been saying that a lot.
Yeah, Hoenn came
Also,
from RDC for sure.
uh-huh.
RDC is
Mhm.
probably the last group that we've accumulated lingo from, and I
Yeah, but
probably
we added
Yeah.
that Hoenn region is
Hoenn
the one that we
region
kind of
was
added.
that we
Like
added.
Casey kind of
Yeah.
added that because like
No,
Yeah.
I added
kind of
that. I keep telling
incorporated.
you, I did Hoenn
Oh, was that
region.
you?
Yes.
We
Yeah.
incorporated that.
Michael did.
We incorporated the Pokemon, the Johto
Yeah.
region, the Hoenn region
Yeah.
into it. So like,
Yeah.
I like that a
There's a
lot.
handful of things. There's a handful of things that we came up from the cuff too. Like it was
Yeah.
just us, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
And at the bachelor party, like it's gonna come out because when the five of us are
yeah,
together, it's just the lingo's gonna come out.
yeah.
Feel free to join in as you can, but if you use something wrong, you're gonna get ripped up. So be careful.
Nathan knows.
Yeah, Nathan probably knows the most accurate.
Nathan knows. Yeah.
Andrew said I think GII or GI the other day.
I don't think he still knows what it means, but
Well, he might know. Yeah, I'm
well,
planning on
people
sending.
don't know that there's the five of us. It's actually it stems from it's me, Michael Shin, Daniel, and Rafi, which all of them are going to this bachelor party. But Nathan's actually our intern, so he's like the next one in if there is a spot that opens.
I thought he upgraded into an associate
Did
or
he?
admin. I mean, I thought we put him in now. No, I guess not.
I don't know, but he's a runner up. to get in once a spot
Yeah.
opens, if it ever opens.
there's an interview process. Just want to say.
So talk about the Fleek
We do.
Squad.
Well, the thing is, real quick, we do need for diversity because we don't have a Caucasian in the group anymore.
Yeah, not
That is
anymore.
true. That is true.
Anymore because someone had a race change midway through his life. So we thought that we covered all the bases, but we don't anymore.
And it's not based on how we. It's not based on how that person feels about himself. This is factual based.
It's a 23andMe.
Yeah. We need some diversity in our group, man.
Yeah. So speaking of the Fleek Squad, I thought what would be nice is to do a little history on the different eras of GII. So I got a timeline up here.
I got you on this.
Oh yeah. I actually, because I'm going to fill this out, but I don't have it up here right now. So what do you think I'm going to put on here first?
You want me to guess?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna guess real quick. So, I think it's gonna be RuneScape Maple Story. That has to be the top.
I fucked up. I didn't put that on there.
Yeah, it's RuneScape Maple Story.
Yeah, I didn't put that. But that would have been earlier. That would have been like 2006.
It would be earlier, but in 2009, that had to have been like Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and like Halo.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. I think it's right after. I think StarCraft 2 and WoW have to be after this.
I didn't put WoW on there. That's my bad. I didn't put WoW.
No, StarCraft. What about Quake? Did you guys play Quake?
Nah, well, that's not an era, man. That's not an era. That's just like a little thing.
That was a side piece.
After StarCraft 2, like that was probably like
League,
it's League of Legends. It's League of Legends.
League of Legends. It has to be League. I think League is like the longest.
But you are missing some key ones, right? Because WoW was a pretty big part, and also you're missing. We had a stint of Heroes of the Storm. We were playing that for quite a bit too.
But Heroes was after League.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but
it's in this. Yeah.
But does that include Smite as well? Like when
there's some stuff I did. There's more than this. I put this like I wanted the whole timeline of the game.
Major game. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I put the dotted line.
League is definitely up there.
Yeah. League is there. Then I think PUBG's short after that. PUBG's has to be somewhere around that.
Oops.
Okay, Fall Guys.
Oh, I put PUBG after because we've been playing it more recently again. But yeah, PUBG.
And you're missing Warzone. Warzone should be right in between those.
No, that's that's there
you go. So
and then we play a whole bunch of indie games in between, and we played Monster Hunter for quite a bit for several months. We played Monster Hunter. Yeah, we played a whole bunch of random things, man. Like Heroes of the Storm.
Speaking of Monster Hunter, I was talking to Mason yesterday, and he's a big Monster Hunter fan too. He was telling me about he's playing that game with everyone. So we got someone else to play Monster Hunter with.
You forgot.
I'll be there.
No, Rocket League I didn't think was long enough. I think based on the ones I actually legitimately forgot.
What about Power World?
I wouldn't put Power World either. I don't think
it
was enough.
That's indie. That's indie games, man. Those are like we play for like we play it for like a month or so tops.
Yeah, I would say Valorant? Maple Story and RuneScape for sure belong on here. And then I would say Heroes of the Storm I feel like was a substantial amount of time as well. Overwatch also I just forgot. Overwatch we played.
Yes.
Yeah, Overwatch was somewhere in here. Or was it here? Shut the hell up.
Shin's just trolling at this point.
Yeah.
But World of Warcraft needs to be
World of Warcraft should be on there too. Man. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Because even if you weren't a part of it a lot, Shin, Daniel, and I, we spent a lot of time on that.
Oh, for sure.
So that deserves to be on here for sure. And I feel like we're still missing something though. I feel like there's something that
there's definitely something missing.
Is there a console game we're missing, or did we stop after Modern Warfare 2?
That's the other thing is like the Fleek Squad started here. And then Rafi joined for League, and then it's been that since. So everything before was just
League of Legends, yeah. League of Legends is taking up too much of our time.
Yeah. So yeah, we like to game.
That's a long time, man.
If you ever want to game with us, just hit us up. Especially if you see any of these titles up here. I wonder if there's anything else. I mean, like. Warzone was really notable. I think the Fleek Squad was kind of dying around this time. People weren't playing as much.
I agree.
That was that was the strongest resurgence of the Fleek Squad there ever was.
Yeah, I mean after we all stopped playing League, then we were trying like other games out. Overwatch. I think Overwatch was in there. Fall Guys. World of Warcraft was in there. Then it kind of died off. Then once that COD
Warzone came out
out the water.
Yeah. And
We
then
played that a lot. And it was during COVID time, so we were like all, we were at home, so we were just like playing. We had that afternoon session of GWI, so it kind of came back.
Yep.
That's when everybody came back too. Like that's when Daniel kind of came back.
And Rafi.
After the Exodus.
And then now things are sad again.
We're the last three standing.
Yeah. So here's the last slide I got up. League, I think, is
this is okay.
League is the game that I think is not even close. We've put the most hours on together. If we were to even try to approximate the number of hours,
I agree.
It's a quadruple digit number for sure. Maybe even 5 digits. I don't know at this point. But yeah, I don't know.
5 digits. It's scary.
I feel like the game that
I don't know about being quad digit.
How many hours of gameplay do you have on PUBG, Shin?
The deal is like 600 hours or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And PUBG was like such a small. I think you could multiply that by 5, and I think that still might be a slight undercount.
Yeah, compared to the hours that you guys played in PUBG.
No, I'm saying if you
no,
I'm saying
Shin,
if you took your PUBG hours multiplied by 5.
I think my hours. Okay.
Yeah, your hours multiplied by 5. I think that's still less than the amount of hours you played League, and all of us played League pretty much the same amount as you.
Oh, see, yeah, I agree.
So between all of us, I feel like we might hit that 5-digit number. So a lot of highs, a lot of lows. But I thought it would be fun to just maybe talk about some of our favorite champions, maybe why they're our favorite, what abilities about them we like, if there's any lore about them that kind of attracts us to them. So I think I got Shin's first. So
really?
Yeah, this one threw me off too.
Yeah, it was during the time whenever like there was a point in time when we were playing League a lot, then all of a sudden we just stopped playing. There was this like small there was this time period where we like didn't GWI as often, so I started by playing by myself and playing with some other Korean friends, and I was playing ranked. I was kind of like pretty serious about getting up there in top tier, so I queued as bottom and support, and I used to get support a lot because I wanted to play supports, and Thresh was the guy that pretty much made me get to plat. And this was during the time whenever like it was hard to rank up because how there's like different tiers in each rank, and every promo there's a promo that you get to win like
between each division
3 matches. Then there was another promo going from like
league to league.
Let's say league to league, where you had to win 3 games out of 5. So it was actually a lot harder to.
And games were 45 minutes long.
It was very long. It was very difficult. A lot of trolls. It's league, but Thresh was the one that kept me there. There, definitely. I think I had the most games played as that champion during my ranked season.
I remember Thresh was the login screen when we first joined League, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
So he was. I think it was Thresh.
Yeah.
Ezreal, what can I say? I'm a main ADC player, by the way. I just want to let you guys know. I just love the it's that E. It's I forgot what this E is. It's like a little
shift.
It's like a little shift, like a small flash that you do. So I love kiting around and hitting players. I like to kite them around and get mine regardless. And Ezreal, his mechanics just fit so well for me. So, and I think he's like one of my top most played ADC player for sure. So put him up there. Next one.
Thank God.
My go-to, Vayne.
Yeah, it's your go-to, but you never play her, and she's your best.
thing about Vayne is like it's high risk and high reward. So what if someone?
No, the thing is, you don't want to lose games when you play her, because then you feel like we're all looking at you like you were supposed to carry and you didn't.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind playing Vayne. It's just that champion needs a lot of other players to protect her.
You're trying to deflect already.
So I mean, that's the. I mean, you can say that. I mean, you guys don't know how to play Vayne, so I know how to play Vayne. So I mean, it is what it is. Like it's not like a shift. Like all she has is tumble and auto attack. That's all she pretty much has, and she has one E condemn, which can knock people out, knock players out. But like she's so fucking squishy. If someone gets on Vayne, there's like you can't. She has no escape besides her flash summoner spell. So, but at the same time, her output is pretty much crazy. She does true damage. So even if you have a tanky ass player that's fed, she does true damage. So you still have a chance of winning if the other players could peel for her. But that's when I kind of that's when my ADC type of I think that made it affirmed that I was gonna take the ADC role whenever we G double I, like with my Vayne, because I think I kind of played her like the early days whenever we started playing.
Yep.
So that cemented me as the only ADC role in the squad.
That's fair. That's the only thing you can do anyway, so good.
That's not true. That's not true. Like I said, I got the pilot with support. What you mean?
I didn't know that. I didn't see that, so I don't know. I don't know about that. That's a
yeah. I don't know about that.
We can call that
it don't matter if
fan.
you don't see it. It don't matter if you guys didn't see it. I got the plot. It is what it is.
Well, you did see is that I'm the only one.
I got that on my resume.
Korean.
I got that.
I'm the only one in Diamond. I'm the only one in Diamond StarCraft 2. I'm only Diamond. Only Diamond.
You're the only one in Iron. You're the only one in Iron League too, Jesse. Don't forget that.
Okay.
Don't forget that.
It is. Yeah, I might be. I might be in League. But I don't look at my time.
We're sure gonna be that Wood League if there was one. If there was one Wood League, you'd be in that one.
Maybe. But I'm gonna let you know. I'm the only one in Diamond. Though. Y'all share titles. I don't. No one shares a title with me though.
All right, we got you up next, Jesse.
It's a weird order. So Zach is my most favorite recent champion. When we first started playing League, I started in mid, then I went to top, then I went to support, and now I find myself when we do randomly play, I'm jungling now.
Damn, you
I'm the
moved
best
around the
jungler
most
on our team. I'm the most versatile. So I was ripping up Shin that he's the least versatile. I do everything.
You can say most versatile. You can say most versatile, but he's not good at any of them besides jungle.
That's really false. That's false because I can play top just as good as anyone except for Roth. Roth's probably the best at top. I can play mid. I don't like playing top, but I'm saying I can play top if I want to, though. Put me on that Ilawi. I'll kill anyone up there. If as long as they're not camping me, I'll go ham with Ilawi. But I'm the most versatile. The only thing I can't do is I can't play ADC. But yeah, jungle's been my most favorite role so far. Now that we play randomly, but yeah, if I'm playing Zax, we're gonna win. Like it's easy. He's easy champion. He's fun to play. He disrupts a lot, and he can pretty much stay alive for a long time as long as you know what you're doing.
One thing about Jesse playing jungle, which I love about it, is like he does this early ganks. Depending on where he wants to go, but those early games definitely does help the laning phase for sure.
I think with jungling, it's my most favorite because you can affect every lane, and you have to think about the timing of the camps, and you have to really look at the whole map. And it keeps me on my toes because you have to see like who's pushing, what's everyone's health, who's used what summoners, who has their ults, and you kind of have to just like make your route and not waste. The thing is, you can't waste too much time either. So like you have to really pick your route well. So that's what I enjoy.
It is one of the hardest lanes too.
It's the hardest.
That's me.
It's the hardest.
It's the hardest role.
It's probably the least hardest mechanically, but the most difficult when it comes to knowing what to do and where to be.
I think the decision making. Yeah, I think
strategy is the hardest.
It's the strategies that's definitely hard. Decision making is really hard.
And then you have to also worry about smiting too. Smiting is not as high pressure as hell. And I would say Jesse's pretty solid at smiting.
He doesn't usually miss smiting. But I'm decent. Yeah, I'm decent enough. I think I'm like a 75% rate.
I think it's
for
higher
big
than
ones.
That. Maybe for big ones. For big ones, yeah. But yeah.
For big ones, yeah.
What's your favorite ability?
The next one. Oh, the E, the one where like, you just go catapult in. I forgot what its name is. Yeah, but that's my favorite because once you max it out, you can go far, man, and you can use that as escape too. So it's fun. My first love. So Ziggs is a Yordle. This is my first champion that I really got hooked on. He's like a crazy scientist, mad scientist that throws bombs. But I never played his actual because my first skin was the pool party Ziggs, so I'd always play the one that threw water balloons. But yeah, his the reason why I like Ziggs so much is that every one of his abilities is a skill shot. Every single one. He has a poke, which is 3 bounces and explodes AoE, and all of them are AoE, mind you. The satchel is his W. You can use it to go in or to escape. And then his E is a slow minefield. And then his ult is a half the distance map bomb, like a atomic bomb essentially, or a missile that hits hardest in the center. So yeah, he's really fun to play. I haven't played him in a while, but I think he became a support like in more recent years. I think.
APC. He
But,
became an APC.
APC.
Oh, APC. Okay, yeah. So it's just the way League changes over time, and people figure out new things, but the way they change the champions and scale them different ways. Somehow he's the APC now, but he used to be a mid. So yeah, love Ziggs.
And
my last one. Oh
no, wait. So
yeah,
that thing about the skill shots actually reminded me of something. But one of the common rips between you and Shin was whenever Shin.
Yeah.
You want to say it?
Yeah. Yeah, Shin plays champions that are all just right clicking. And I play champions.
Say that Ezreal is Q, like he's Q and W are skill shots and his ult.
Okay, but that's the only one like that. All the other ones are just right click.
Right click Shin. It's okay though.
It's not just I mean, League is all about right clicking. But
you only need one finger to play League.
Y'all don't know how to kite. Y'all don't know how to kite. That's the reason y'all can't play ADC. That's the only reason. You don't know how to kite.
You can play ADC with the
Michael tried it. Michael tried it. Rafi tried it.
It's hard. I don't like right clicking
kite.
a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like right clicking like
I'd rather use abilities.
I like me too.
Everyone has abilities.
All right.
Not the champions you play. All right, so this is my second love, is Sona, the Maven of the Spring. So she's
is that what she's called? I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Do you know whenever like
yeah, I know.
Little, like thing? Yeah. I don't know what Maven means. I still don't know what it means, but I always see that Maven of the Strings. But yeah, she's mute and she talks through music. Like I think her allies can hear her, but the person playing her can hear her. But if you're playing against her, all you hear is like her banging on like either a piano, a string instrument, as a default, or like a DJ, which is I like to play the DJ one a lot. But yeah, she fights with music. It's as corny as it sounds, but she's a beast because I know Shin hates it. But I carry with Sona. Sona's a support. So this is my jungle, my mage, which can be, I guess, mid, and then like my support. Shin has a love-hate because I will go ham with Sona. Like people play Sona as a support, but I play her as a APC. But then I'll still be doing all the heals. I'll still do everything I need to do, but I'm gonna get kills at the same time.
The one thing that triggered me,
I said except word.
The thing is, I play ADC and Jessie used to support me a lot, right? The one thing I would say that kind of triggered me was there's times where the first item that Jessie buys is not a support item.
It's a tier.
It's tier of goddess, and that used to trigger me so fucking much.
Yeah. And man, is what it is. The thing is, so for the people that don't play League, Shin wants me to get an item that will help him get more money. But the thing is, I'm getting an item that will help us win our lane, inadvertently let us get more money.
It's not just me, Jesse. It's both of us. What are you talking about? Both of us get money.
If we win our lane, we winning the lane, getting money game. And getting. Well, the thing is, the way I see it, getting money only works if you use the money right. You can get all the items, but you don't use it right. But if you win your lane, you win your lane. Like it's already over. If you get your early tower, their strategy has to change so much. If you get 5 kills straight in a row, morale's down on the other team. They're low on their money. They've lost a lot of CS. That's how I see it. So I'll help you get some kills. Let me get a couple kills first. Let me get mine.
No.
And after that, you can get yours, man. I just need 2 kills. I always tell you, I need 2 kills. Give me the first 2, then we're straight.
You don't like that. He doesn't have that support mentality whenever he plays so.
But we win though. We win. And
it's not just about our lane, Jesse. That's selfish. That's selfishness right there. That's selfish right there. That's selfish.
It's not.
You're
because the
playing a
thing is,
support champion, which is look at Michael.
okay.
Michael supports me. He gets a
We'll talk
support
about me
item
later. We'll
all
talk about me
the time.
later. We'll talk about me
He
later.
makes the plays. He makes the plays with his clutch hooks.
Shin, let
Sometimes
me
he
say,
misses a
when we
lot.
play Sona,
Sometimes he misses. But
look, when we play Sona, Shin, let me tell you this. At the end of the game, when we're like 25, 30 minutes, 40 minutes in, and then like we're doing these team fights, and you see a big ass green shield on you, and you see your half bar go to full bar, it's because I got those early kills to help me get to the items that I need to do that. Because those scale off AP.
oh my god,
That's the reason why y'all stay alive. That's why we can dance at the Nexus. That's why we're all there at the end. I keep y'all alive.
you notice
You
how
don't
he
keep
never.
yourself alive.
You notice how he never talks about his ult. How that's a playmaker. He cares about his heal. He
It
cares
is.
about his
Oh, but
heal. Out of
Shin,
all the
they
three
dance for
different
like
spells.
Shin. They dance for like 2 seconds. The heal is what keeps you alive. The ult does not keep you alive. The ult gets us set up for kills if it's hit
Alt
right.
is a play. Alt is a playmaker, Jesse. What are you talking
It
about?
is. But the heal is the play prolonger. That's what keeps us there. Because it doesn't matter if you're not alive. If I ult, who's going to kill anyone? I keep
The thing
y'all
is,
alive.
no,
Just
but
remember
here's the
that.
thing though. The
I keep
heal
y'all
is
alive.
for consistency, but it's not not in the early laning phase. Most of the time, you go there for the pokes.
Well, it helps me with my Q though, so I'm gonna get mine.
The thing about Sona, which I have to play Ezreal whenever Jessie plays Sona, is because Sona is such a squishy ass champion. Like if she's going against like Blitzcrank, Thresh, any hook type,
I'm not gonna get hooked. I'm not gonna get hooked. Don't worry. Do I get hooked?
Yes, you get hooked.
No, you play Ezreal because you're trying to avoid getting hooked.
That's
facts.
That is facts.
Yeah, I don't get hooked, Shin. I never get hooked. That's not me.
I have to play Ezreal because we don't have an initiator.
I'm gonna get mine. Look at me initiate.
Look at that mentality. Let's see what it said. He's just playing support. He's like, I'm gonna get mine.
I don't want to
Not like
prolong this.
I'm
It's
gonna
already been
help
almost 2
y'all
hours.
get yours.
No, I'm gonna say this real quick. Shin, you talk so much shit when we're not playing, but when we're playing, like you give me so much praise because you're like, oh,
No, I mean,
nice hit.
I'll
Oh,
call you
it's
out.
one shot,
No.
one
If
shot.
you play,
You know why they're one shot? Because I poked them like 5 times.
if you play well, I'll give you credit where credit is due. See, I'm
And
fair.
I do.
I'm
You know when I
fair.
play these 3
Compared to
champions,
Michael, whenever
I
he gets
swear
those
to God, we
hooks.
don't lose. Bro, we don't lose when I play these 3
All
champions.
right, we need to move on. But I have one last question for Jesse. Shit, this is not for you. Have you had any interest in trying out Seraphine? Why? And if so, if not, why not?
No, I don't. For one, League is not
No, I know
a game I don't like playing League unless you really have to, because we've played so much and we've invested so much money and time in this game, and there's no point. We don't even like play for it like competitively anymore. We don't have a team anymore. If we had our whole squad, I would still play. It's not fun playing with randoms, and when we do play, we win every time, so it's boring. Because we don't play the competitive way. But I would not want to play Seraphine because Sona is S tier to me, and I don't want to play another champion other than Sona as a support.
I'm gonna just throw out there.
And Seraphine's like a copycat, in my opinion. Like she was like literally a copycat champion of Sona. I don't know how else to explain it.
I'm gonna just throw it out there. I think I know at least two guys in the fantasy football league and the bachelor party that would be down to play League. So we can find 5 if we want.
Yeah.
Just saying. All right, let's go ahead and go into mine because, like you said, it's been like 2 hours. We need to finish this up soon. So
Yeah.
I put Malzar up here first. He's his moniker is Prophet of the Void. So
did you guys like look this up?
No, I know that.
No, it's like when you play this game so much, you just see it all the time.
Yeah, you see it. Actually, I don't know if they still show it or they used to show it, but I just remember seeing that Prophet. And I thought it sounded cool, Prophet of the Void. League has like really cool lore, and there's probably like 10 different zones that the champions are based out of, and the Void is like this upside down S kind of place where all these creatures that are out of like this weird purple magic area come from. And the lore on Malzahar is he's the only one from there that's actually a human, I believe. And I think he was a human that somehow fell into the Void but survived, and now he can harness the power of the Void. So I just always thought that was kind of cool. And then there's so many stories with Malzahar. So one of the funny ones was back in the day they used to they used to talk about one of his abilities being called Space AIDS, because the way it worked is it's called Malefic Visions. So the way it would work is you'd put the Malefic Visions on like a minion, and if that minion died before the Malefic Visions expired, it would hop to another minion. So basically, the way you use his ability is you put it on a minion that's sort of low, and you kill each one at a time, so it hops around, and hopefully it hops onto the champion. And the League community on Reddit like basically would call that space AIDS, just as kind of like their joke. And we had like an inside joke where we would compare that to Magic Johnson because of the South Park episode where he gets HIV. And so I had my profile picture, which was Magic Johnson on top of Malzahar's face, and that was my profile picture on Skype for a while. And the other thing that's special to me about Malzahar is that I feel like in that era of League, I think my first role was top. That was where I first ever played, and I like the idea of top because at that time it was mostly beefy tank bruisers, and those are just the type of characters that I gravitate towards in most games. So I wanted to be there, but it wasn't the right lane and role for me. I just wasn't good at it, and then I transitioned to support next. And I had fun with that, and I have some of those champions coming up, which I really enjoyed playing down as support. But being a support for Shin is it can take a toll on you because you know he's like a diva. You know, like when you think of like the strikers on a soccer team, they take all the credit, and they don't really. He doesn't do a good job of thanking all the assists. You know, all he cares about is his own stats. It wasn't
That's
even
contradiction because Jesse didn't say that.
Yeah, but now he's nodding his head because at one point in League, before it used to be KD8, it was just KD, and he would always gloat about his KD, but you could be a support who went 1-1 and 10, and you wouldn't get any credit. So at one point, there's some days it's just like you're getting ragged on too much for not making these plays, so on and so forth. And then I decided to give Malzahar a try in the mid lane. I had never played mid. That role is actually one of the most important. Like every role is important. I would say jungle's probably objectively the most important, but for me, I would say mid is the second most important. The reason for that is because if you can win your lane early, you cut off the enemy's ability to traverse between the top and bottom sides of their map, and that completely throws them off because you can see where the jungler is. The jungler can't just pop up on you as much. So Daniel used to be like our hold it down in mid for a long time, and I tried Malzahar out, and something about his kit just fit really easily for me. Honestly, I think it's just because he was a very low skill champion. He was very easy, and he had this ability to basically face roll. So if you could get an enemy champion to like 40% health on his old kit, all you had to do was flash and then literally press every button, and it would put this circle on the ground that would do dot damage. I'd put the Malefic Visions, it would spawn the Voidling, and I would ult, which was a suppression, and they would die. And so I was going ham with Malzahar, and I was like, I was a one trick, I think is what it would say, right? Like I could go mid, but it was only if I could play Malzahar. And it was just,
because it was like the only mage that had the click on ability.
Yeah, he had one. Technically, at that point, he had 2 skill shots. He had 2 skill shots at that time, but
no, he has 1 skill shot.
No, he had 2. He had 2, and then when they reworked him and they made it only 1. And that was actually, every once in a while, League will rework a champion when they feel like they haven't been utilized enough, and they'll change up some stuff about their kit and leave some stuff. And I feel like the rework that they did to Malzahar really removed what little like skill elements he had to his kit, and now I feel like he's just such a simple champion.
Easier.
Yeah, and it's like not as fun, but like he's still like one of the. I mean, there's not a lot of champions I can play in mid, but I could still play him. And now his strategy is pretty much just to push people out of the wave with the CS, and I still enjoy playing him, just not as much as before. Next one I have up here, Blitzcrank. It's my most notorious support for, I would say, good and bad reasons. Sometimes I'm getting the game defining pull that's, I weave the hook through 3 champions and pull out just the perfect one that wins us the game. And sometimes, you pull the Nasus and then they ult and kill the whole team, or the Rammus and then they go straight to the ADC and taunt, right? So, you win some, you lose some.
That, man.
One thing I'll say is
cannot forget
every time they try to get me down with the Blitzcrank, I always quote the great Wayne Gretzky, who said, you miss all the shots you don't take, or some shit like that.
And what do I say? What do I say? What do I say after that, Michael?
I think you say just like, well, you miss every shot anyways, or something like that.
No, I would say like, oh, you just took every shot, you still missed. So what does that? What does that
mean? Yeah. So I don't know.
mean?
I think something about like being able to move a champion against their will is what attracted me to Blitzcrank at first. It's just like there's not a lot of champions who can just take you from one place to another. There's knockups and there's stuns and all, there's like Skarner can pull you away and stuff like that, but that Blitzcrank is just like it's a game changing ability, and I always had fun with it. And honestly, for the third one, I kind of went with the other champion that also has a hook. Nautilus is the only other champion with a hook as well, but it doesn't work quite the same. Instead of bringing you all the way to them, Threshers too. That's true. This one he kind of brings you both together and kind of split the distance. And Nautilus, I feel like I just had a really really strong run with him for a while. I think he was just OP at the time, and you could be like an unkillable tank and then still have that hook ability. And it was a lot of fun. The other thing that's nice about him is that like the other team gets 5 bans, and like I don't think I've ever seen a game where Blitz and Nautilus were both banned. So sometimes if a team bans Blitzcrank just out of spite, I'll pick Nautilus because I'm like, you try to ban the hook, I'll pick the other one with the hook. And yeah, so that's it on the champions. I kind of wanted to talk about other league stuff in general, but I think it's late. So if you guys want to talk some more, we can. I'll leave it up to y'all. I can go for a little bit longer.
I'm down. I'm already here, and we're not going to judo live. It's anyways too late. So
one thing I was curious to get your guys' take on is what was kind of like your favorite meta in League, and also a second question is what have your thoughts been on how League has stayed alive and changed after 10 years?
You want me to go first? I'll go first. I think the early era
of League is
the early era of League is my most favorite of all. I mean, there's a lot of memories behind it. I think so. There's some bias to that as well. But as of right now, today's like League of Legends is like it's very meta based, and there's like a strategy already that is like pretty much built because like it's so competitive now. Like there's so many famous players that are playing the game. There are a lot of players that are playing the game, and so it's been studied so much. It's been researched so much. Like there's like an answer to the game. I think.
Did you see the thumbs up?
Think. What? Not the thumbs up.
Did you see that, Jesse?
Yeah, like,
I think it's because he's on his iPhone.
Yeah, maybe so.
Oh, and because if you think about the early age of League, like we didn't know what the fuck was going on, so we just tried like all kinds of champions, and there's like a lot of metas. I think like different metas that were like I remember this one. I remember when.
How about
Daniel
you explain what meta means? Because some people may not even know what that means.
Meta is like it's like different kind of strategies that you figure out depending on how the game is at that current state, depending on like what type of champion is good, what type of items are good, and things like that. So you strategize around like what is currently you create a strategy based on what's available at that times, and if a lot of players, not just us, but if a lot of players were to do the same thing, you basically that literally becomes a meta. Basically, whatever the people play the most, I think that becomes like we can call that a meta. But at that early age of time, there wasn't like a concrete meta per se, because like a lot of people were playing a lot of different things. And one of the example that I could say is like whenever Daniel was supporting me, and they used to play a lot of support champions, and all of a sudden he would play like a mage character, like Annie, for example. She was a mid character, but he decided to play him as a support. So all of a sudden, like he just went ham with her, and he was like doing more damage than other like mid bot top. And Zyra is also one of them. She was actually a mage character, but people started playing them as a support. Like those are the things that we actually found as well. Like we found our own meta at that time. Then like because no one would play it. Like every time we play a game, like no one would play any support,
Mhm.
no one would play Zara, things like that. So like there's a lot of exploration, like experiment that we could have done. Now it's at a point where like it's been studied so much, like people like once there's a whole brand new season starting and with a brand new update, like it's just like everyone has an answer already, right? There's already like a champ that people will play, like 3 champs for that lane that people will play, mostly. So that's where I guess I would pick the first whenever
When we
the
first
first
started
season
playing,
of
basically
League. Yeah, like
lack of
season
a
3.
meta.
The lack of meta is definitely there. But yeah, it's definitely there compared to the early age, and I think also I guess talking about how this game particularly has been lasting for so long now, right? So it's been like more than 10 years now,
Mhm.
and I think the reason behind that is like if you were to play a single player game, like let's say, or MMO, and you put yourself in a competitive uh, field where you compete with other players. The reason I think why it's lasting for so long is it's not just you who has accountability. It's other 4 players that you play with that also, you have to give them responsibility to do their job and win the game, right? And there's so much blaming going on during that time. Most of the time, there's so much trolling, there's much blaming. So like, it's a type of game where you can still play good, you can play well, but you can still end up losing the game. I think that's where the kind of dynamic happens, where like, okay, it wasn't me that was good. I mean, it wasn't me that was bad. It was the other 4 players that was good. So next game, I can win if I get good players. So there's like that chance. It gives you a slight hope of like next game if I were to play, I might win. So it kind of gives you that addiction where like because anyone that plays don't think they're bad. They don't think they play awful, but most of them do. But it kind of gives them that addiction part where like okay, I have to rely on the other teammates and try to work as a team and try to win the game. So it kind of gives you that responsibility, accountability, that addiction of winning, and it's satisfying too. Like if you that you beat the other 5, so you came out on top. So there's that satisfaction there for sure.
I feel
And
like
it's not like a
I feel like I
okay,
asked you
and
one
also yeah, go
question
ahead.
and then you went on the longest tangent about why you
Oh,
love
sorry.
League.
No, you no because you mentioned how like this game is lasting for so long. So I
That
was
is
like,
true.
I
That's
was
true. No, I'm just giving you a hard
I was
time.
talking about that.
Jesse,
Yeah.
Jesse was looking at you like, what is this guy even talking about?
I was zoning out, man. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? But
Oh,
I would say my favorite time in League was when we had the full squad. That was probably my favorite.
yeah.
When we weren't playing with randoms. I hate playing with randoms because you waste so much time and there's just too many idiots on League. You can't rely on people that don't communicate. And the game's all about communicating. You communicate either through voice chat or through pings, and there's just people that you just can't work with. And like what Shin was talking about, where everyone has a role, and that's literally what they call them, right? You all have a different responsibility as part of the team. It's just annoying, and that's why I've fallen out of love with League is because it's just gotten one very easy, and two we don't have like our core group of guys that used to play this game like night in and night out, and it's just not the same with us three playing. Not that it's not fun to play with other people like one off. Like if we play with like Mason or we play with Nathan, those are fun too. But it's just not the same as it used to be.
Yeah.
And when we were playing in ranked, and we really cared whether we lost or won, and we were really trying to climb the ladder as a team. And then whenever the ranked music was the original ranked music, that was probably like my favorite time because probably what you don't know about Shin and I mostly, and Michael too. We really are very musically inclined in a way where like game soundtracks are like we will notice like us two, we will notice like the background music of a game when no one else is paying attention and like man, this thing's kind of like it's hitting right now. So um like that original ranked lead music was just really nice. They like
Mhm.
set up the mood for like a really fun 30 minutes of gaming, but yeah, don't have to league that much anymore. Unfortunately, it's one of those games where like I think we've left and come back too many times, or at this point it's like it's not fun anymore. It's kind of like as if we went back to WoW again. Like we did that with Classic, and like imagine
Yeah.
a guy like Shin who was like so into it back then. He like quit really early. It wasn't for him. Like it's like that for me in League. You just do too much.
Yeah.
Like you leave and you come back. So
It's like going back to your ex. You don't do that.
Except we always come
Yeah,
back.
I wouldn't know.
You don't do that.
Yeah, I guess just to respond, I guess maybe I'll answer my own question about my favorite meta, and then maybe just what I think of League 2. So, with favorite meta, I think kind of around the time we first joined, where there was like a tank in the top, mage in the mid, and then it was either like a bruiser or assassin jungle, and then AD carry, and then like a tank support. Like that was probably my favorite era because I loved having team fights with front like strong front lines and then high DPS in the back, and then having to strategize around doing that, and then every once in a while having some kind of assassin. I feel like when they started putting high damage into supports, it just kind of felt like okay, everyone is just trying to do damage now, and then they do some random cheese top with like Vayne top or Quinn top, and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
And then
I don't like that.
they don't pan out, and then now you don't have a front line. Also, this is kind of a hot take, but when we first started playing, I feel like support was like so like by and far like the shittiest position because there was almost no gold income. Like the only way you could get gold on support was if you stole kills, basically. Because assist gold wasn't that much. You couldn't get CS, and you were basically just sitting there
Yeah,
depending on like the gold over time before they built out all those support gold items. And but like what you would do is you would spend a lot of gold on wards, and you were basically like a ward machine. And I feel like that like it's kind of a two-edged sword because it kind of sucked because it didn't feel like you weren't getting stats on the screen, but that vision was like make or break for the game. And it was always really fun as a support to dominate your lane, set up deep vision in their jungle, and then being able to kind of take momentum with that, and then you're dominating mid because you know where the jungle's at, and do that kind of stuff. But I do like where support is now, where they can actually get gold and do stuff with it. And then with the longevity, it's like I don't know how a game where they have over like 150 champions now is still like this popular. I mean, we're saying it's popular. Who knows how popular it actually is? Like, I don't have the player numbers up in front of me, but it doesn't seem to me like it's not being played that much. And sure, in terms of MOBAs, I think it's just still them and Dota 2. Like HOTS is kind of dead, and that's kind of it. It's just those Dota 2 and League. But I think League for me, the reason I gravitated towards so much to it is it really felt like the most strategic PvP game we've ever played. Games like COD and Warzone, Valorant. No, let me take Valorant out of that. Valorant's pretty strategic too, but like shooters and stuff, like they're a lot more reliant on just personal skill level, and it's like how good are you at aiming, and how fast are you at aiming, and how can you control your mouse with the recoil. But League really felt like you were playing chess with like five pieces, and when you had a full stack, it's like okay, like Jesse's gonna gank top, and at that moment, like mid's gonna go dive hard, and then bot's gonna steal drag. Like, that doesn't make actually any sense. You wouldn't do that, but you know what I mean. It's just like you have those strategies, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But then you still also have that ability to like have a bad strategy, but be able to pull it off because your execution is just that much better, and that also feels great. And but the lows are low too, obviously. But yeah, league I think is you know if I had to ever pick one game that was like my favorite game I've ever played, it had to be League. Like, obviously, there's a lot of single player RPGs and the stories really resonate with me and stuff. League doesn't have a story. Actually, technically, I don't know if you count Arcane now. Maybe it does have a story. I don't know, but the game itself is just so good. But I don't know. I think if I could steal you back just for some of Vicky's friends, I played the other night with them. We were just playing some Flex 5, and it was fun. I mean, we had a 5 stack, and it's just kind of like you have all that strategy and stuff. So I don't know, maybe one of these nights I'll get you back in to play ranked fives once. We'll see how it goes.
I still think that out of three of us, Michael still has that residue of love.
He
Yeah,
does.
I
More
do.
Always. I think you do too, Shin, a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind. I don't hate the game, but I also don't love the game anymore.
Yeah.
I don't
I
enjoy
think the problem with
playing.
problem with
Yeah.
gaming right now, it's so one-dimensional. Like, there's not that many like things to do. Like, people are they're either playing shooters, so they're playing like Warzone or whatever new Call of Duty's out at the time, or they're playing like League of Legends. Like, I don't think there's like really anyone really playing anything in between. Like, it's either like the Fortnites or like whatever that other shooter was that we played for a little bit. That's kind of similar. Like, it's just like there's not much to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, and one thing is like, I guess, although this is kind of late now, but the new genre that came out was the battle royale game, and all the gaming companies hopped on to making battle royale game. Like,
Dude, look, it's League of Legends right at the middle. You saw that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. With Lee was in the middle.
yeah,
I'm trying to find what the Twitch has changed their webpage. So
see, it's whatever
League is number 3.
Call of Duty it is. Yeah, see, it's Black Ops 6, whatever.
yeah, shooter.
However,
I mean,
Fortnite,
GTA's. I mean, we were talking about GTA if the new one comes
Yeah.
out. You know,
yeah.
I don't know. I never played GTA Online or anything like that.
Just
I don't know
look at the games that are here on the top, the recommended games. Like, none of these are like new except for Black Ops 6. These are all like the same games, like for how many years now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same stuff.
I mean, COD is still COD. I mean, it's just a new. It's just
It's
like
a new
how.
title, bro. New mechanics, new title, new
That's
maps,
it. But
whatever.
it's the concept is still the same.
Yeah, I don't hate League. And Michael, I'm gonna decline. I really don't. It's not gonna make me like want to play. I'd rather just play PUBG with you, Mishan, and
Andrew.
Andrew. Just because like I don't know, League of Legends is just too easy, man. Like, did y'all win the games that y'all played?
We won 3 and we lost 1.
Yeah,
But
like, it's just
But
easy, bro.
out of the 4, 1 was easy and 3 were not easy. Just 2 of them we were able to kind of clutch up.
Well, whenever me and Shin are there, it's easy. Then if it's us three, then this thing's too easy. I don't think we've lost. Like, have we lost? I don't know
I
if
don't
we look
know.
at a game with 3 of
Hey,
us.
just one night. It'll be the right night. We'll try ring 5s and we'll see if it's
It is
easy.
kind of surprising. Yeah, it is surprising how we're playing PUBG for quite
This
a time,
long. Yeah.
a lot of time, for a long time. I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know. I don't know. It's
right.
either we don't have. It's because we don't have any other games to play. But I feel like Jessie
we
also
don't need
somewhat
that many
enjoys playing
people.
PUBG.
No, we don't
Like,
need that many people. It's like there's 3 of us,
that's
and we
true.
have,
That's
we have
true.
Andrew, and Andrew's always
That's
down to
true.
play. So we always have a group of 4 when we play.
That's
But
true.
then with League, it's like it's hit or miss. And
Like, you'd rather have 5 rather than like
yeah, I don't even want 4.
2 or 3. Yeah.
I want no randoms on the team because
Yeah.
you only need 1. If that one person just sucks, it makes
That one dude will always fuck it up. There's always that one dude.
It's 45 minutes of just like nothing. You do all that for nothing.
Yep.
But yeah, no. But the thing is, the reason why I think I miss, or the reason why I don't really care to play League is because it's not a game you can play mindlessly, in my opinion. You have to think a lot, and it's
you're
not
always
worth,
on.
it's not the fun that you get from winning in that game is not worth the time. I'd rather just like shoot the shit and play a game that's kind of like you can just kind of talk for most of the time, and then when things get hot, like in PUBG,
That's true. That's true.
we just shoot the shit and talk about our days at work or what we're doing in life right now. And then whenever we're in a team fight, we can like turn it on and like be like, hey, let's focus real quick. And then when we're done with that, we're like, okay, so back to politics or back to, I don't know, stocks or whatever we want to talk about, work. You know, it's like, yeah,
definitely PUBG. We talk about all kinds of random shit.
That's fine.
But in League, we can't do that. It's constantly like you gotta be in a lookout for the other team, like what they're doing, and you have to react to it way more than what PUBG has to offer, because most of the time, like 50% of the time or more, all we do is loot, get inside the circle, and that's during the time we just like talk about random shit. So like,
because when we
lock in whenever we have to, that's fine.
Even when we play with people, right? Like Andrew's always like, y'all just talk the entire time. Or like when we play with Matt and Warzone, like when we were playing Warzone, he'd be like, I enjoy playing with y'all because y'all just like chilling. And I always tell people like, we're just like hanging out, we're just playing games while we hang out.
Yeah.
We're just talking because we could literally just do this.
Yeah, we could just do this.
If we can do this and play, it's like, why don't we just do both at the same time?
Yeah.
So we just
Gaming
games.
Like our GWY session has like I feel like it was competitive in the early days. Now we're at a point where like gaming is just it's like a background. Like it's just a
roles reversed.
It's just a setting that we just have. Then after that, we just talk about our days. That's basically how it became now.
Yep.
Well,
All right. Well, I think we need to. This is a good stopping point. I think we'll call it here.
How long has it been, man? How long is this?
I don't know.
hour.
Holy shit, so
Yeah,
long.
this has been a long one, but we'll see if anyone watches the whole thing. If you watch the whole thing, say Fleek DZ in the fantasy football chat.
Dick you.
I think Duke was also the guy that always said like something about the booty. So like I think we got that from him too.
Hey, Jesse got everything from that.
Yeah,
Everything
we
that
got a
Jesse
lot,
says is
man.
from. Oh
We
my
got a
gosh,
lot.
I had no
He's
idea.
Yeah.
He'd like get up really close to the camera and he'd always show like his teeth and like
Teeth, yeah.
his tongue. He'd be like that and like making his like braces and stuff. You remember that, Michael?
Yeah, I remember.
It was just
Oh
really
my
funny stuff, man.
god.
It was funny. But yeah. Anywho, you know, if this wasn't as long, actually
You would
scratch
have been
that.
down to play a game of League, but not.
No. I was just saying we
Watch some clips.
we should watch
You don't
what
like?
is it?
Hit that air?
We can now,
Yeah,
but like
no.
we would watch like sometimes Shin, Michael, and I,
okay.
and then I will watch like a clip from greatest
A TLC reality show.
some type of TLC show because we would watch like that No Neck Ed or like the greatest
Cheapskates.
skates and stuff. Yeah, those are fun times. That's probably one of my favorite things to do too.
Lots of
Watch YouTube
disgusting ass
videos.
videos on that.
Random YouTube videos like that, especially then it's funny. They're always TLC type of shows.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. We got everyone in the podcast now, so I don't know what we're gonna do from here, but we'll keep it going for the rest of the season. Thank y'all for watching.
Thanks for having us.